He's a whack job. Oh, man, I got so mad at him yesterday. I go from really liking him to getting mad at him. Why?
Yeah.
He just made a mess of something. He comes to me and he says, hey, Howard. Now, he's been working for me for like 15 years. Howard, do you want to have, evidently Sega, you know the game Sega?
Yes.
The game company?
Mm-hmm.
Evidently Sega is coming out with a new cable channel where you'll, like when it's hooked into you, you'll probably be one of the first people to get it, Robin, because you're wired for everything. But it'll be an interactive channel. You'll have a Sega control panel in your house, and you'll just call in and you'll turn to that channel and it'll offer you a menu. And you'll pick one of the Sega games and you'll play it.
Sounds good.
So Gary comes to me and he says, Wolf, there's a new Sega channel. You want to try it? You know, me, I run around here like with a chicken with my head cut off. I remember he asked me when he was at his desk and I was running around. And I said, oh, yeah, what's that all about? So he says, well, it's a new channel and you could try it out for a while. Now, I could swear he even told me that they were a sponsor, but he claims he didn't. So that's an argument that, you know, he could be like Dennis Funk. No, not yet. No, I told you to leave.
I'm not leaving on this one, because you're so off base on this.
No, I'm not, Gary.
Never part of this conversation.
Good. Thank you. Didn't he say it was a sponsor?
Yes.
I said,
he did. I know it. Thank God I got a witness.
Oh, she's a liar.
I asked you 20 times if it's a sponsor.
No, absolutely not.
And she told me Bucky. You think it's one of Bucky's.
Why would
Gary, I swear, you get confused.
Out and out lied.
She's not.
She's just out
Say
and out
I swear to God.
I swear to God.
I knew it.
was a sponsor.
Yes, Gary, stop for a second. Gary,
no way.
Don't get defensive. You really did.
I did not.
I always ask.
I did not.
I always ask.
You
Because,
said, what is this all about?
right. You were there. I was in the office.
Why did I say they're a sponsor?
Because you space out. You're very busy,
Gary,
and you don't
you hardly knew what it was at the time, and you always like to answer questions.
You do.
Robin, you just lied. You're a
Robin,
crap.
I told him that he told me it was a sponsor. You know, I don't have any. Thank God I got somebody to back me up. I walk into this guy and he tells me it's a sponsor. I would never even accept this. Listen to this.
They want you to try it out, so when you talk about it on the air, the whole rap.
Right. He gave me a rap on it. I'm telling you. He even told me it was.
I can't believe he's carrying on like this.
I know, but you see what it is? When it's his word against mine, everyone assumes that I just don't know what I'm talking about. He does this to me all day. I thought you were leaving. Gary, honestly,
this is the scariest thing Robert's ever
I swear.
This is the scariest thing you've ever done.
But Gary, I'm telling you, I remember the conversation with you.
Two of us are wrong.
Gary, wait a second. Stop. That stink is in here again.
Howard doesn't know.
Can we get rid of this garbage can?
He wants it to happen.
No.
I could be wrong.
Gary,
you're just going to lie for
Gary, I don't take product. First of all, let's assume you were right. You didn't tell me. Where is your brain? You know that I don't accept anything from someone who's not a sponsor.
I don't know that. And then, of
course you do. You're working for me for 15 years.
What did you go to that movie the other day?
No. When I'm not talking about going to see a movie. I'm talking about, I can go see a movie. That's a $7 movie. I can't accept a whole Sega channel from somebody.
I did not know that. And we
you don't know that? How could you not? We've had this discussion a million times.
We've never had this discussion.
You see me taking things from people who are not.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
I know. You don't know a thing. This is my problem with him. He just doesn't know. He doesn't know what to do. It reeks in here.
I know. I don't know.
I have 2 minutes. Tell me all you know.
I don't know.
Robin is not a liar. So I walk into the office.
Just because I don't agree with him.
I know. Yeah, right. So I walk into the office, and he says to me, the Sega Channel is going to be on the air. I know what he said. Believe me, I wouldn't accept something that isn't going to be on the air. And you know what? Even when it is a sponsor, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want the product. But he kept hocking me with this, do you want this Sega Channel? Do you want this Sega Channel?
I even remember him coming back again, and he didn't know whether it was TV or computer.
Yeah, he didn't.
But that didn't happen. I didn't see it.
Right, I know. Right. I know, and he's telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about, so what am I supposed to do? Now I'm in the embarrassing situation. So listen to this. So I finally said, hey, it's a client. They want me to check it out so I can talk about it on the air. My kids would probably love to use it. So I'll try it out for a couple of months, the Sega Channel. And then they have to send a guy to install it in your house, he tells me, and all this stuff. I said, no, you know what? Jeff Schick's an IBM guy. Maybe he'll help me out with it, because it's a computer thing, and Jeff says he can handle it. So I go home, I see the Sega Channel, and it's great. It's all installed, and I tell you, it's a big menu, but it's a big computer box and the whole thing, because it's not set up on Long Island yet, so we have to do it through a computer. It's not the way it's going to work in your house. So then all of a sudden there's like a contract that has to be signed saying that, you know, that I'm responsible for all the equipment in case it's damaged. And I go, this doesn't sound like anything that I've ever been asked to do by a client. What? I don't want this obligation. Let's get this thing out of here. So I call up Gary. I have Laura, my assistant, call up Gary and say, what kind of client is this? I mean, why am I signing? I mean, I didn't ask for this. I don't want this. I don't want this responsibility. I don't know what this thing's worth. It could be worth. I don't know what it's worth. Well, maybe I have to put my house up for collateral. I don't want to be.
Why would you automatically assume it's a client if somebody hadn't said that to you?
Right, because I would never. First of all, I never would accept something from someone because you know what they're going to expect? A free mention every day. And I can't represent that. If somebody lends me the Sega system, I can't represent that I am going to sit there and do free commercials for them. I don't own the radio station. I don't think it's proper. So I get this whole thing installed. It takes, you know, it takes a long time to install, get it all set up. And I see this contract. So I say to Fafui, what is this contract? I go, this is a client, right? He goes, oh, no. They just wrote a letter asking if you wanted to use it. And now, he gets a letter like that, and he doesn't know that I can't accept something like that? Where's his head? He knows I can't accept something like that. Why didn't he just give me the letter? Well, I don't know what he's doing with the letter. Just give me the letter. And I remember 27 times asking him if it's a client.
There was no letter.
What was it?
There wasn't a letter. The publicist for the Sega Channel.
And you don't know I can't accept that?
I told you that. I told you it so many times.
No, Gary, you just did it.
I just absolutely did.
Gary, then why would I accept it if I didn't know it was a publicist?
You don't even know.
Yeah.
That I told you that. You want to think that.
I got a witness, an eyewitness who's telling me the same thing. You told me it was one of the accounts of the station. You did.
There's no reason for me to tell you because it just wasn't.
You just didn't listen to the question.
I knew that up front. I knew right up front.
If you knew it, you should have said to me, Howard, you can't accept this.
I don't tell you what to do.
No, excuse me.
I never tell you what to do.
Listen to me. In the 10 or 15 years that you know me.
I don't know. I wish I could think.
Have I ever taken something from anybody? What did I have you do the other day? Did I have you return a printer? Why did I have you return that printer?
I'm not sure.
A company decides to send me a computer printer, a portable printer in the mail. I said, I can't take this.
That's one of the reasons is why I sent it back. That is one of the reasons.
That's the only reason you sent it back.
I thought the other reason was because we already got 3 of the same one as well.
No, that's not the same. And I don't have 3 of the same ones as well. I don't even know what you're talking about. What do I have 3 of the same?
Didn't we get like a
no
for your birthday?
No, it's a portable printer. I don't need it. I don't want it. And they're not a sponsor of the station. And even if they were a sponsor of the station, I have trouble taking it. I don't want to owe anybody anything. He doesn't know this about. I don't know how he could not know this. He gets a call from a publicist. You just say, Howard can't. Are you a sponsor of the station? I'll refer you to the sales department.
I don't know this.
And you were in the office when the phone call came in.
No, there was no phone call. There was no letter.
Not when the phone call. He was doing his thing. I was behind him, and he said to me, Bull, you want to say this is a news? I said, oh, is it a client? Yeah, it's a client.
I never said it.
You did. You did, Gary. I remember it. I remember it.
Swear on my mother it never happened. I swear on my mother's life.
You got Robin who heard it and I heard it. Oh, Robin doesn't know anything.
I got Robin's book. Wasn't Robin like kooky? Now all of a sudden she's like the world.
She's got a great memory.
For what? You just said everything in her book isn't true. What memory does she have? You said Howard Stern said everything in Robin's book is not true.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with her memory.
Of course it does.
Oh, she made that stuff up.
No, she claims she remembers that it happened. No, her words, Robin's exact words...
She even admitted to me in private she made it up.
No, wait a second.
Liar.
Robin's exact words were, hey, that's the way I remember it happened.
All I know is I got a memory, and I remember you saying it to me, because in my 20 years in show business, if you want to call it show business, I've never yet accepted anything unless it's a client of the station.
I just think I made it.
So you don't know this. You don't know it. You're oblivious to anything I do. And I know what you said to me, because I wouldn't even get started with Sega if I didn't know that they were going to be on the air with us with this product. Gary, I'm not going to argue with it. On 2 counts, you should know automatically that you can't get a phone call from a publicist and line me up with, I don't know, $200,000 worth of equipment or whatever it is.
That's what it was, $200,000.
You got to see this whole rig. There's a huge computer rig in my house.
Okay, I didn't know. It wasn't mine to... I just...
All right, listen to me. Don't pass me any information like that. That's what I'm telling you. I can't accept that. You know this.
No, I don't know that.
And I am telling you, I was in the office. I don't remember Robin being there, but I remember me being there.
I remember Robin
and me
being
asking you, listen, I don't want to spend so much time on it. My point
then why
is...
don't you even bring it up?
You can leave.
No, but leave. What are you going to hammer me about on the air? Why bring it up at all?
Why did I bring it up
on the air? Why
does
the whole country have to know this?
Because it's important that they know that I have an office that's in disarray.
It's important they know that you're a dictator.
Oh, I'm a dictator. No, you're a dick. I'm a tater.
Right.
Right.
I was trying to get the second
half. All right, get out. You do your job horribly.
Flunky. What did he scream just now?
I don't know. I mean, I stood there, and I remember saying to him, is this a client? Oh, yeah. He told me it's Bucky's client. He tells me things. He just says things. So then I said, oh, my God, I've gone through all this trouble.
And now they're going to take it out.
I'm going to have to unhook the whole thing. I didn't know any of this. And then I said, I wanted to call up Tom Chiusano and say, hey, listen, this is what happened. It's a blunder. Because Chiusano's got to know about it, and I got to have it all unhooked.
What is he screaming about? Did he or did he not create this fiasco?
Of course he created it, because first of all, he knows already. I can't accept stuff from some guy who calls up and says, hey, you want the Sega Channel for free?
Even if, all right, let's say, the worst case scenario, we are both wrong, he never said that.
Yeah.
He has to, his job is to make it clear to you what's going on.
I know. And I had 27 discussions about this Sega with him that it was a client, and he told me it was. Because he doesn't know what he's talking about. He told me it was Bucky's account. That's my story. I don't know what his story is. He's yelling that you're a liar and you don't know what you're talking about. You were there.
Absolutely.
Because it was one of those days where we were all in the office and it was crazy, and he kept blurting out Sega Channel, Sega Channel, Sega Channel.
The day I remember wasn't in the office. I wasn't there when this call came in, but I remember him sitting there at the table.
Right.
And he had his little Post-its, stuck to his pad.
Right, Mr.
And he kept flipping through them, and he goes, oh, and Sega, they're coming on, and they want to put a thing in your house, because they're starting this game channel.
So I said,
in fact, he didn't even know whether it was games. He just said Sega, and I don't know.
And they're coming on, yeah. So I just said, for once, they're coming on. I'll have something to talk about. Why not?
Yeah, my kids might like it.
Yeah, my kids do love it. And then they thought they were getting it for a couple of months. And yesterday they're playing it, and I came in and I go, I think we got to take this thing out by tomorrow. I think we only get it for a day. And my kids are like, what?
Oh, man. They're
like, we're just getting into it.
Used to it.
Yeah. Where's Tom? Hey, Tom. Is our general manager. So now I got to deal with Tom on it. There's always a little fiasco going on. And I'm sorry, I'm pinning this on Gary. I'm not taking the fall for this one. So I was told that I say, you heard the whole conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I got to return this somehow, but man, it's a major job returning it. So I'll get it out to them in about a week or so.
I mean, what did they send you?
Well, first of all, the Sega Channel is going to be, it's going to be hooked up eventually into everyone's home through their cable system. The problem is right now, cable systems don't carry it, so it's a whole big computer.
Seems like a lot.
Yeah, it's a terminal like what they're going to...
It's a whole system. It is not even patched into your computer.
Right. It's its own separate computer.
So you have like the mother computer that they'll eventually use to feed all the homes.
Exactly.
Oh,
it's in your house.
No wonder they were having you sign a contract.
Yeah, and I'm like, I said, what kind of client makes me sign a contract? I mean, I'm using this thing because they told me to. Now I'm signing on a contract.
This is the whole thing this morning is the first I've heard of it.
Yeah, I know. But I was under the impression that this was Bucky's account. No. That this is what they were pressuring me to do it.
I mean, as far as I know, Sega is not an advertiser.
Oh, okay.
Although they have been for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. Well, all right, so then they got a plug. I mean, Sega's not giving me a system because I'm a great guy. They're giving it to me because I have a radio show. What do you think they expect?
Yeah.
They expect mentions.
Right. I think they got everything they were looking for.
Well,
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How come
you don't know this? That's what Sega's expecting is mentions?
I don't know what.
Why do you think? Let me ask you a question. You're a smart guy.
Scores.
You're a bright guy.
How come Scores and they're not a sponsor?
I'll tell you in a minute. I'll tell you the difference.
It's good for the air, right?
No, I'll tell you the difference.
The difference is?
I clear it with Tom ahead of time.
You have?
And I've said, yeah.
Okay.
He knows about it.
Right.
It's okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, let me tell you something about any company out there. Do you think, let me ask you, when I was in high school, do you think that Sega contacted me in high school and said, you know what, you seem like a really down-to-earth guy. Right. We would like you to have a free system. Do you think that happened? Okay, but let me just answer the question. I'm asking the question, then you can ask questions.
Okay, fine. I got one.
When I was in college, do you think that anybody contacted me and said...
Howard, nobody did anything for you before you Howard Stern. We've established that.
Okay, now I have a radio show. It's a very popular show. We know that.
Right.
Why do you think Sega would contact me without contacting Tom about advertising? Why do you think they'd want me to use their brand new system? Take a guess. Take a guess. I asked the question.
Why do you think that you're on the mailing list?
You're asking me a question.
Why do you think you're on the mailing list of millions of movie companies that don't advertise, that send you movies, and then you get on the air and say they're great movies because that's the way you feel?
Right.
But you're on there. What do you think?
Because I am a movie reviewer. In a sense, I give my opinion.
You're sending it to you in the hopes that you'll talk.
No. You're not a movie reviewer. Excuse me.
Yourself. You're not Ebert.
No, excuse me something. You don't know what I am, Gary. You are a moron. A moron doesn't know what anybody is.
You're not a movie
For a living, I talk. I'm not a movie. I don't give my opinion. Listen, jackass. You are so stupid.
It's a thin argument.
It's not a thin argument. I cannot accept a $200,000. I don't know what this computer is. I cannot accept things like that. You don't know the difference between going to see a movie.
No, but okay. So if you're in a movie,
a movie is part of pop culture. Everyone goes to see the movies. Therefore, I comment on movies. So as far as the Sega system, no, wrong. The Sega system is a different thing. It's completely different. It's a lot of hardware. It's a big, expensive item. It's a luxury item. It's like I can't accept a car from Mercedes-Benz because they want me to mention it. It's an implied thing. A movie is one thing. It's a $7 item. You understand?
$7 every week for 2 years.
No. It's a $7. Would you explain the rules to this maniac?
There is a line.
He's my producer. That's what scares me.
I mean, I don't want to jump in, and get on Gary, but I mean, there's a difference between a $7 movie.
He doesn't see it,
Tom.
$500.
I swear to you, I never told them it was a client. I swear on my son's life.
Oh, you do? Then your son is going to drop because he just lied.
He's not. I would never lie.
Somebody call the hospital. Get ready.
I just can't believe how Robert could just jump on that.
She doesn't lie. You know she doesn't.
Gary,
you think she's making that up? She sat there.
Why would I do that? Why would I do that?
Why would she do it?
Because this is a great 30-minute.
No, because she would say she didn't hear it. Why would she do it? She'd say, I don't know anything about it, but you two always have this problem.
Whether you said it was a client or not, but I heard you say they're coming on and they want you to try this out and they want to put it into your house. And you can.
I would even guess that Jackie was sitting there when you said it too, because I remember saying to myself, "Oh, Jackie probably wants one of these."
Robin, you and I one time. You and I discussed it 3 times.
Jackie, can I ask you something? Were you a witness to any of this? And be honest.
I might have been in the room because I remember the word Sega, but I was paying no attention.
He mentioned it a second time when Jackie and I were in the room, and that time is when he told you it was they had to bring the computer or hook it into your computer.
I would take a polygraph. I would be more than willing to take a polygraph.
In your own,
I would take one.
Because you're a cabbage head, you probably would pass. You probably don't remember saying. You don't know what you say.
I know.
I am telling you, I don't accept gifts like that unless it's a client and it's a specific reason because I'm going to talk about it. What? Hello?
Wolf?
Oh, here's Gary Puppet.
I'm so happy in my life's work, and my job in life is making you miserable.
Yeah, it is.
You're good at it.
Listen,
he left. He left.
Gary left when the puppet came out.
You don't need him anymore.
Drove him out of the room. Here's my point. I'm telling you, listen.
I was there, and he certainly didn't sit and say a publicist from Sega called and they'd like to give you a system.
I know.
I never said that.
I can't accept systems.
I will swear to that.
And he knows that. He's heard me on 1,000,000 times say, Gary, I can't accept something like that.
At this point, after this half-hour conversation about Sega, they should almost turn you down when you say you're going to send it back, but you should send it back.
No, I'm going to send it back. But what I'm telling you is it's going to take me about a week or so because I got to get Jeff to do it, and he's busy with IBM and all that. Okay.
No problem.
Good. Just so you're aware.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'm signing contracts on this thing. I'm going, I got to call Baba Booey. Why is the client having me sign a contract?
It never occurs to him that there's a big mistake, and it must be him if you're calling him saying, what is this contract all about?
Since he's been working for me, he has never once admitted to making a mistake. He has never once. Like all of a sudden, I went out of my mind and said, hey, I'm going to accept a publicist's gift. I'm going to throw my career out the window for a stupid game that I don't even play.
I just love Sega so much.
Yeah, I got to have that. I can't afford to buy a Sega system for my house. I can't afford to buy some Sega. What is that, Gary Puppet?
Wolf, did I happen to mention to you that NASA wants to name a rocket ship after you because you're so handsome?
Oh, is that right?
I swear.
Uh-huh. Hey, Gary Puppet, you're not stupid squared, you're stupid cubed.
Wolf, I know I'm a barren brain, a dead dome, a blank brain, a dense skull, monsoon mouth idiot. Stop me when I go too far.
Let me ask you something. In all the time that you've known me, have you ever seen me accept something from an outside source that wasn't a client?
Absolutely.
That wasn't coming on to advertise?
No.
I mean, aside from a book or
there has been a lot of conversation about how you send back a number of things.
Right, but Gary doesn't know about it. Gary says, I never heard of that.
I don't know that.
I don't know that, he says. I don't know that. How could you not know that? After working with me for 15 years.
We constantly sit around talking about payola and plugola and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to come in here and do a commercial for Sega every day.
And he can't make the leap that Sega wants to put it in your house because they want you to talk about it.
Right.
And that would be wrong.
Yeah, but how am I going to reward these guys for doing this? Yeah, I won't talk about it. They'll be real thrilled.
Yeah, that they just want to give this to you.
Yeah. No, and he doesn't know about any of this. He's never heard this before. He's never heard this before. He says he's never heard this before. This is what he just said.
He doesn't know that.
I don't know that. I just take the phone calls.
I got a call from a publicist.
How come? That's why Morty makes so much more money than Gary. Because Morty knows Letterman can't accept it. You think Letterman accepts a Sega system? He doesn't know. He's clueless. There's his sign on the door. Baba Booey. See? Baba Booey. I got a big sign to remind him of who he is. Baba Booey. I put that up yesterday. Isn't that great? One of our listeners sent that in. Baba Booey. He doesn't know. He doesn't know anything about how I run the office back there.
And you're supposed to catch every mistake he makes.
Yeah.
Then he's screaming at you.
Yeah.
You're the one that's wrong. You didn't catch me.
How come you take a movie? How come you watch a movie? You're not a Siskel and Ebert.
That's a thin argument.
How come you go to stores?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a thin argument, boss. That's a thin argument. You are no Ebert.
And Robin, you're alive.
Yeah, and he doesn't know that I'm a movie reviewer. I'm anything I want to be.
I'm sitting there saying to myself, what is a better plug for a movie than for you to say, I really enjoyed it.
Right.
You are totally tapped into your audience and its likes and dislikes.
Right.
But you're not a reviewer.
No. I'll bet you I'm better than Ebert.
You're no Ebert, boss.
Now, how come you can take a $7 movie, but you can't take a $200,000 computer?
All right, $7 over 365 days in 12 years.
Yeah, did you hear that logic? Okay. That was great logic. Yeah, I know. We're going to pull that and play that.
I'm a human calculator.
Yeah, Gary Puppet, what are you, the human calculator?
I'm a human calculator.
Oh, I was so crazed last night when I heard all this. I was out of my skin. I was just like, what is he doing now? And my kids are digging this thing, and now it's like...
But you've got a whole big contraption there, too.
Yeah.
Needs now an expert to come take it out.
Yeah.
It's not like pulling out a plug.
No, I can't just pull out the plug and wheel it back in. And you know what? Even though they were coming on the air, I wasn't even going to do this. I just said, for once, let me have some fun.
Yeah, I mean, you were a little bit like, well, what does it take? You know, it's like you didn't even want to go through the hassle.
No, I didn't.
But I'm sure he doesn't remember all that.
No. None of it. I didn't hear him once say, this is some publicist who dreamt this up.
Never.
It was a client of the station. But he doesn't remember. He's going to take polygraph tests. And he's swearing on the life of his kid.
I have a memory like an Etch-a-Sketch. I shake my head and I forget everything, Wolf.
You know what? He has a terrific memory, Gary, but the problem is he doesn't...
It's stupid crap.
Right. It's dumb crap.
Remember that scene in Scarface when he gets in the car and he's eating the yogurt and he looks at him and he says, look at you, you effing F.
Right.
Look at you now.
He remembers movie things. Gary can walk in and actually memorize movie scenes.
And remember the tracking shot from Citizen Kane?
Yeah.
Which denotes like the passage of time when Citizen Kane's marriage is breaking up with his wife?
But he doesn't know.
It's unbelievable.
But he doesn't. Yesterday. What happened on the show yesterday?
I have to go eat a Fig Newton. That's brain food.
Mention Gary Puffin.
Don't mention it.
All right. Don't mention it.
Fig Newton is brain food.
Oh, was I going nuts yesterday? I'm sitting at home like pounding my head into the wall. And my kids are playing this Sega and going wild for it.
And then you're trying to figure out how to talk them down from it.
Yeah, and I'm pumping them up. I'm like, because like Jeff was telling me, you're the first kids on Long Island to ever play this. It hasn't even been put on anywhere. It's just in testing, and they're all excited, and they're inviting their friends over. And then all of a sudden, I see this contract I got to sign. And I said, wait a second. This doesn't sound right. What client would do this? I call up Gary. Oh, I never said it was a client. I was just like, bull high.
You start to hyperventilate.
Yeah, I was just like, what? No, you told me it was a client. No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Must have been somebody else with big, huge, smelly choppers.
And I'm looking at this contract. I signed a smaller contract when I signed up for my movie. It was like a 97-page contract.
Oh, man.
I'm just like, what is this? I got to go get an attorney. Oh, I tell you, another fine mess.
Drop dead.
What was that?
That was Gary. I'm trying to call him back in the office.
Oh, boy. He's not speaking to us?
Idiot Central. Head idiot speaking.
Hi, I'm calling from Toshiba Cameras. I have 20 free cameras.
Stop right there. Say no more. Send them all over.
We would like to give Mr. Stern
we don't care. Whatever
3
you want.
cameras, so he'll mention them on the air.
He'll plug it and add nauseam. Just send them over. Send 2 extra for Gary.
When have you ever heard me plug that kind of stuff or do that kind of stuff?
I've never heard you plug that kind of stuff.
That's right. We want to send over some free cameras, and I'm also calling for American Airlines. We want to give you free tickets to anywhere in the world. And a plane. And a plane.
Your own private plane.
We'll always have a full tank of gas?
Yeah.
Then send it over.
Yeah. And we have a ticket for your Mr. Stern's monkey as well. We've seen him on the E! Show. Thank you.
You're welcome.
He didn't come in here during the commercials. He usually comes in to produce.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He didn't come in. Hey, I'm sorry. It's a major faux pas. What are you doing back there? Making deals. See, you know why I know?
What do you have for both today?
You know what? You know why I know he's lying? Because he knows that I don't accept things like that.
Yeah.
He knows that. And he says he doesn't know that.
Well, he conveniently forgets most of what he does all the time.
All right, Gary, come in. Is Billy here? Okay, because he's part of this, too. Hey, Gary, come in here with the Sue Simmons contest. Let's put the rest of this behind us.
Yeah, because I thought we had determined that Billy's probably the winner.
We don't know that for sure.
Oh, okay.
Are we done?
Yeah.
Can we talk about Sue Simmons?
Yeah, hey, by the way, there's a guy calling me later.
Accept it.
And he's got some...
Whatever he wants.
I think he's from Hewlett Packard. He wants to give me free LaserJet printers.
Yeah. Well, we'll go get him.
So you decide whether or not I should have them. Don't check with Tom. Because that'll ruin everything.
I wouldn't dare think of it.
All right. You know you did wrong. And you knew you were doing wrong.
No, I don't. I really don't.
The only reason that you let that go through is because you thought it was a sponsor. Because normally you would never even entertain that. I know that.
Howard, I knew it wasn't a sponsor from the very beginning. Never thought it was one. Why would I think it's one?
That I can't explain. That I have no explanation for. Hey, what's the difference?
What's the difference?
Is it a big mass? It's a big mass.
Hey, Wolf, Budweiser wants to send you a pony. Because you're a good guy, and it's a little horse like the little movie.
It's just a little horse. And you are a horse reviewer.
Right. You're the Siskel and Ebert of horse review. Gary, if Budweiser calls and wants to send me a pony, don't accept it.
I can. They're an advertiser.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be right.
No, sure it would.
No, it wouldn't. You see, it wouldn't.
Of course it wouldn't, Howard.
Oh, you know that.
We're either going to do this
then
or
why
I'm
do
going
you
to leave.
think it's not right?
We're either going to do this or I'm going to leave.
You're not leaving. Anyway.
I am leaving.
No, you're not.
I am too.
Am I a horse reviewer?
No, but
what is it? Seriously? How come you know?
You're a horse rider. Why don't you just throw a saddle on me and ride me around?
How come you know? Wait a second. How come you know that I can't accept a horse from Budweiser?
I don't know that.
Oh, you don't?
I don't know.
All right, okay, because that's inconsistent.
Exactly. I'm going to be.
You're saying you didn't know.
I'm going to be consistently stupid.
Right.
I can't determine.
Quiet,
Does he really not know?
I don't know.
Or is he just saying he doesn't know?
Because he just said, of course I know you can't accept a horse from Budweiser. And I'm going, well,
I'm just taking the easy road.
Right.
Better to be consistently stupid than to disagree.
Hey, Wolf? Like Gary Puppet wants to tell me something. 1 second, he has something to say. You got a
wood bastard.
Wolfie of Old Voltas?
Yes?
I have a big announcement. Con Ed wants to send you free electricity.
Is that right?
Yeah. Will that be AC or DC?
DC.
Okay.
Come on. Thank you. All right. Let's drop it now.
Why now?
Why now? All right. And don't shirk your responsibilities because I'm in an argument with you.
I thought we just dropped it.
No. You didn't come in during the commercials and tell me my agenda.
I can barely get in here to get you to listen to me anyway.
Okay.
If you want something, you'll call me.
Baba Booey, Baba Booey, Baba Booey.
Do me a favor, Gary. When I get tapes and things sent to me, don't give copies to people and send them out. Okay?
What's that?
Papa Fohai.
No, Fafa Fohai has a strange way of doing business.
Floli.
Remember, everything that's sent here is mine.
Right.
Even when people send you something, it's mine.
Okay.
All right.
So what are we talking about in particular?
The copy, The Late Shift.
Okay. I actually did make a copy. I lent it to Gorilla.
Yeah, how did Ralph end up making a copy?
I have no idea. Gorilla asked me if he could borrow it, and I gave it to him. I didn't make any copy. I don't make copies of tapes ever.
Why? Who sent you The Late Shift?
HBO.
Right. Why did they send it to you?
They knew you had a copy, and they wanted me to see it.
They wanted you to see it?
Yeah.
I don't need you to see anything. It doesn't help me at all.
They wanted me to see it.
They wanted you to see it.
Really
Why do they want you to see it?
I don't know. I deal with the woman all the time.
I'll tell you why they want you to see it. They want you to see it because you work on my show.
Okay, that's fine.
Right. If you get a tape sent to you, you watch it.
I did.
All right. And then what do you do with it?
Gorilla asked me if he could see it. I didn't think it was a problem. I didn't know anybody was going to...
No. Don't pass around my tape.
So I know that somebody's going to make a copy of it. I'm aware...
You don't know what anyone's going to do with it. Hear what I'm saying again. Okay. When I get sent a tape, which is... Even if it's in your name, the reason they're sending it to you is because you're my producer.
Gotcha.
You can watch it, and then just put it in my bag or do something like that or destroy it.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry?
I got a copy of a movie from a movie company. What's the name of that movie I just got a copy of? You see this?
You talking about Beautiful Girls?
Beautiful Girls, right?
Oh.
I don't dare
Don't waste your time.
I don't dare give it to Baba Booey because he makes copies of it.
Howard, I've never
and
made
this has my name on it.
Hold on a second. I've never made a copy of a tape in my life.
Don't give it out to people.
That's fine. But
listen, if I wanted to be a good guy and give Gorilla a tape, I would.
You're right, but don't accuse me of making copies. That's a whole different issue.
Let me tell you something. When you give it to
people,
when you give it to people, they make copies.
Right.
Last night I get a call from Ralph. Hey, I watched The Late Shift. This was a couple of nights ago. I watched The Late Shift. I go, how did you see it? It hasn't aired yet. Oh, Gary gave me a copy of the tape. I made a copy of it. I said, well, why? Why? You know, I'm saying to myself, why? Why is this going on? What am I, a tape distribution center? I don't need that. It doesn't serve my purpose to have all these people running around with tapes. See, like this movie was sent to me from the movie studio, they code it, so they know that this was my copy. If they see copies of it, they know that I made copies of it.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they code it. It's got a code on it. In fact, here it is, 108C. If they see that,
they'll know you.
It's numbered on the cassette.
To other people.
Yeah, and then I'll go to jail. You ever see that thing? 1-800-NO-COPIES?
FBI will come and get you.
FBI will come and get me. But Baba Booey doesn't care.
I do care,
He wants to be a good guy. Don't give my tapes to Gorilla or anyone else.
Who knew that anybody would make a copy? But I'm wrong. But I did not.
Why do I know it, but you don't? I know it. I know not to give. That's why I don't rush back with things, because I don't know what you're going to do with it.
That's right.
It's true. I can't trust you.
You don't rush back with that? That's because I'm going to make a copy of it?
I don't know what you're going to do with it. You might hand it out to your friends. You might give it to your cousins. I don't know. I can't trust you with anything. You're stupid as a wall.
That's right.
That's what I'm telling you.
Give me the tape.
You're not bright.
Send it back yourself.
You're not bright.
Pick which one you want to do.
You're not bright.
Yeah, that's right.
Gary, here's the rule. Anything. I've said this rule 900 times, Gary. He walked out. Here is the rule. I'm going to repeat it again for him. Anything that is sent in the mail under the name Gary Della Booey, Della Bobby, Della Batti, or under Howard Stern, if it's sent to this radio show, I don't want him distributing it to other people. Period. It's my mail.
Now, would you get somebody to tape that so Gary will hear it?
And play it over and over again? How many times have I had this discussion with him? But I gave it to Gorilla. I don't. He didn't make a copy.
Once a year you have this discussion.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than once a year. And then he walks out and he doesn't hear it.
He forgets after
He's like moronic. I don't know why I can't trust him. After all these years, he doesn't get it. It's my mail. He can't deal with that. He became a whole superstar. I put him on the radio. He became a superstar. I have an office full of superstars. I don't have an office full of workers. I have an office full of superstars. That's my problem. My interns are superstars. They're appearing on Broadway. I get interns. They're on Broadway. I mean, I've got superstars working for me, and all of them are permanent. I mean, Baba Booey's the worst. He's got appearances.
Baba Flunky.
Well,
I need a worker.
There should be, perks that you can hand out.
Yeah. He's a good guy. And then you say to him, I don't want you handing this thing out. I just gave it to Gorilla. I didn't ask you to give it to... What purpose does that serve? Why are you doing that? And why is it not given back to me? I just gave it away, both. Both? I gave my tapes away, both.
How was I supposed to know?
But HBO wanted me to see it. Well, they wanted you to see it. Why do you think they want you to see it? He doesn't get it. He thinks they really want Baba Booey to see it.
Just personally.
Yeah. HBO needed feedback from Baba Booey. He's a big star.
Is he going to be calling with his critique?
Yeah. He calls HBO. He is hired by them to give his critique of these things. How should I know what I did? I'll forget. All I know is that tape ended up making the rounds to everybody.
I never saw it.
God forbid you should see it.
No, they wouldn't give it to me.
That would be great if you saw it. That might have actually helped me. I am an important player in this business. Wolf, this is show business.
If I find out something around here, I have to do it myself. Nobody's helping me.
How did you end up with a copy of The Late Shift?
I kind of feel bad.
Why? Why would you feel bad? It's not your fault.
That Gary's getting in trouble.
Well, Gary should be in trouble. Gary's moronic. He's supposed to be my producer who goes through my confidential mail, put it in my bag, and then destroy it. HBO didn't send it over for Ralph or Gorilla. They're not interested in you seeing it. You know when you should see it? When it airs, like everyone else.
Yep.
I get a call from Ralph. I've just completed viewing the... I said, how did you finish viewing The Late Shift? Oh, I got my personal copy from Gary, which I copied. Why would you feel bad that Gary... You feel bad that Gary's a moron? I feel bad. Gary's my... How do you think I feel that Gary's a moron?
He's mad at me now.
He shouldn't be mad at you. You have nothing to do with this. He's the dope. Why is he mad at you? That's the most moronic thing I've ever heard come out of his mouth. How could he be mad at you? He's the moron who released the tape. Why would you be at fault? For once, you're innocent, Ralph. That's why he's in here.
Of course.
What do you got to do with it? It's the source.
I just didn't think it would be a problem. I thought, you know what it is?
You're a complete idiot, and you don't know why anything's a problem. But worse, my producer's stupider than you.
Nothing is ever a problem to you.
Nothing's a problem. I didn't think it'd be a problem.
I wanted to check it out.
Well, maybe it wasn't a problem this time, but maybe if this tape had gotten out, maybe I would have returned this tape to Gary thinking he's going to send it back, and he would have released it to you guys, where you make copies, and I got to be responsible for it.
I can understand that.
So why isn't my mail treated confidentially? Well, I don't understand. I just don't get it. But why would you feel bad? You feel bad that Gary's stupid. We all feel bad Gary's stupid.
And now it's just going to be like one of those things. Gary's going to be all stuck in his craw about me, and he's going to blame
about you. He's gonna blame why me. Would he blame you? Explain to me why he'd blame you.
I walked up there and said, Gary, I'm sorry that you got in trouble or whatever, and he said, well, you should be, and
why should you be? Why should you feel bad that he's a moron? In other words, he took the tape and distributed it to people. So Gary would think you're a great guy.
But he didn't know I was going to make a copy.
But I guess that's the point. How would he know what you're going to do with it? Yeah, well, how does he know what you're going to do with it? That's my point. Why is he not worried about my mail? How could you be mad at Ralph? You're the moron who released my tape.
Because Ralph asked me for it, and the answer was no. And then he said I made a copy.
He took it from who?
From Gorilla. Okay, I shouldn't have given it to Gorilla, but Ralph asked me, Ralph said, "Can I have this tape?" And I said, "No." Then Ralph took it and made a copy.
Now, wait. Of course, because you released it to Gorilla.
That's fine, but you don't think I should...
Why do you release my mail?
How come I'm wrong, okay?
You're absolutely wrong.
Right, how come Ralph can do pretty much anything he wants?
Ralph cannot do whatever he wants. Ralph's gotten into trouble on this show many times.
Ralph can look on my desk and look at my notes.
Why do you keep your notes on the desk?
I don't anymore, but don't you think Ralph is just as wrong?
No.
There's no equal...
Here, I'm going to explain it to you because you don't see things clearly. You are the source of my mail. If you release my mail to anybody...
Right.
If you release my mail to anybody, that's when the problem begins.
I understand that, but
when you say no to Ralph, and then Gorilla has a copy, and Gorilla gives it to Ralph, it's not Ralph who's my problem. You're my problem.
I agree.
Not Ralph.
I agree. But so he just goes and makes a copy. That's not a problem.
Right.
Because once I've released it, no matter what anybody does,
Gorilla didn't tell him not to make a problem.
That's within the inner circle. Knows better.
You're the problem, Gary. Okay. You released it.
Okay, I'm the problem.
Don't release anything out of this office. Stop being a good guy. You're not a superstar. You're Baba Booey.
I never said I was a superstar.
You become a whole star.
No, I haven't become a star.
You're releasing tapes. You're a video release guy. Don't give anything of mine to Gorilla, unless you ask me.
Right.
Don't give anything of mine to Ralph. Don't give anything of mine to Tom Chiasano.
That's fine.
Tom Chiasano, I can't go into his. I can't go to his secretary and say, "Give me Tom's calendar for the day." Why do you release things of mine? How come every idiot on the planet knows not to take their boss's stuff and give it out except you?
Because I'm.
But you're going to blame Ralph somehow.
Gary,
I still think that he shouldn't have taken it.
No,
Gary, but wait,
you're wrong.
I'm wrong.
Gorilla, he got it from Gorilla, not from you.
Gary.
Yeah.
You said no to me, not because, like, no, you can't see it. No, because Gorilla had it next, and then John had it after him, and I was last in line. So it was a matter of time. So
there was a whole line.
There was a line. I had to wait in
there's
line.
a whole line.
So instead of waiting in line,
Howard,
my mail. What do you say? Gorilla, here's the rest of my mail. Here, take it and go through it and see what else you want, okay? Because Gary wants you to have all my mail. Evidently, you can take my mail and go through it. Go through everything of mine. Take whatever you want. Go through the office and see what else you need. Don't consult me.
Excuse me, Howard.
Yeah.
I want to get you a copy of your 1996 tax returns back from Ralph. I lent them to him.
Why don't you just give us a list of what you have so we can pick over?
Gorilla, would it help you if I made a list of what I have?
No.
All right. I'm not mad at you. Don't worry. There's nothing to do with
Gary
you.
gave me the tape.
I give Gary. There's more and more jobs I got to take away from Gary because he screws them up. But come on, my mail. It's a no-brainer. You go through it, and then whatever I told him we don't need, you throw in the garbage, and the rest you give to me.
Ralph told me he wanted to take it and watch it in the back, and then all of a sudden he was making a dub of it.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You're not to blame.
I told you what I was doing.
Ralph is not to blame. The problem is Gary. He gave away my mail.
Gary is saying that there's an inner circle and that they should know what to do.
Oh, they should. How come he doesn't know what to do?
I gave it to people who are a member of the inner circle.
What inner circle? Interns?
I don't know what the inner circle is. He just said that. I just thought I'd bring it up. I didn't know there was an inner circle.
Who's in the inner circle?
I'm not in the inner circle.
Evidently, you never get anything.
Everybody has to be divided.
Gary, who's in the inner circle?
Oh, let's see. Ganji and Guillo.
What about the janitor?
Doug from E. By the way, Ralph, where's that key of Howard's house you made copies of? I think I might need it back.
You need one?
I don't know what's confidential and what isn't. He hands out my mail.
So the inner circle, but he said the inner circle, he gave it to the inner circle. That's why he's angry that you're not angry at Ralph.
But both.
He gave it to the inner circle, and the inner circle knows what to do.
Oh, I see. How come he doesn't know what to do? But both, Ivan Reitman made late shift and Betty, so I figured it's important that the inner circle see her work so they can approve it.
Family.
Yeah. Don't you want them to critique it? I get Ralph on my answering machine. I have my critique of the late shift. I thought that you'd be interested.
Oh, dear.
And I'm like, no, I'm not.
What an irritating call.
Yeah, right. I'm like, well, how did he get it? Baba Booey.
Oh.
I just said, Ralph, how'd you get it? I act naive. Oh, gee, Ralph, hey, that's great. How'd you get it? Baba Booey.
Well, now you hear there was a list. It was a sign-out sheet.
I guess so. So. Baba Booey must have a sign-out sheet for all my mail that he releases to the interns.
It's like Blockbuster Video.
Yeah, for the inner circle.
Did you have to pay a late charge?
Yeah. I just wonder what else of mine is being leased out.
But you know what I hate? Like, now he's just going to be mad at me because you like me.
Ralph, let me tell you something.
That's ridiculous.
This has nothing to do with you.
No,
this has nothing to do with Gorilla. It's all him. And he still doesn't understand that it's not your fault.
But Ralph does have a problem. He's now saying Gary's going to be upset with him, and you're.
But then even but that's another one of Gary's faults: failure to see who's responsible. He's going to figure out some way you're responsible,
and then it all trickles down.
Well, Ralph, you blew it. If you had kept quiet, we could have kept releasing Howard's mail to you, but now we can't.
And then it trickles down, and Gorilla starts assessing blame, like he didn't know, and everybody gets defensive. And
there's nothing. It's between me and Gary. He's not going to somehow throw this off onto you or Gorilla. And if you're in charge of my mail, and you make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And Ralph is a bad person because he reads the notes on Gary's desk. Well, who doesn't read the notes on Gary's desk?
You can't help it.
I don't really sit and read, but
everyone does.
You walk in there, you're leaning over the desk to get a piece of paper.
Please,
all of a sudden, a note is in your
Record company guys read my notes on his desk. Those are my notes, boss. They shouldn't read them.
Isn't it wrong for people to do what they're not supposed to do?
Yeah.
Now I'm sorry that I give copies of that videotape to my toll taker, and my parking lot attendant, and my milkman.
It's going around
and the guy who rakes my lawn.
Oh, that's Gary's way of, and you know what it is? That takes energy to sit there and keep track of these tapes. And his energy is going to stupid stuff like that. That's what I resent most. That's what he's busy with, tapes.
Work at a video store.
Yeah, that's where he would be if it wasn't for me. He'd be working in a video store.
Blockbuster, Gary Delevate's office.
Yeah. Toothbuster. I'm sitting there at home steaming all week, and I go, it's amazing. Ralph has my mail. And Gorilla and John, but Gary decided that this is pieces of my mail that can be distributed.
Ralph, stop laughing.
It's amazing. It's just amazing. And Gary goes, Ralph asked me for it. I get confused.
I said no.
But he said yes to Gorilla.
Little did I know that Gorilla was a conduit.
He was performing a cover up there.
Yeah.
He's acting like I only gave it to Gorilla.
Yeah.
And then you find out there's John. And
right.
He was going through all these hands.
Yeah, distribute.
And he only said no to Ralph.
I don't know why he does this with my mail. And this is, this is the thing that drives me nuts. There's no confidentiality. I can't even have him open my mail. And really, what is left for him to do if he doesn't open my mail?
Well, he does book guests.
Oh, that's right. No one can do that.
And I spell my name for guests. Capital D, E-L-L, apostrophe, capital A, V-A-T-E.
So I'm sitting here with this tape that I'm supposed to return to Miramax Films, and I'm shaking in my pants.
Wondering how many copies are out.
Yeah, like I can't give this to him because I know, because he keeps calling the house every day, bring it back. I know what he wants. First of all, he needs to see it.
Right.
Which it doesn't do me any good if he sees it. Mary and I want to screen something.
Now that we have the baby, we can't go out, so give me all your free films.
We're going to have a movie party. Everybody in the neighborhood, come on over. Bring your VCRs.
Mary and I will watch Beautiful Girls.
Right. Mary and I and our friends will screen Howard's movies.
We will have another couple come over, and we will watch a movie.
And the reason I haven't brought it back in is because he's been driving me nuts about it. And all of a sudden, then I see that he's giving my tapes out to be, dubbed.
Oh, so it's been a thing on his mind that he's bugging you about.
Oh, yeah. Most things he doesn't remember. I asked him to get me tapes 2 weeks ago of something. He didn't remember that. But this tape, he remembers. This is the one thing he's focused in on, the Miramax film.
Well, I got to have my weekend's entertainment.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of time to duplicate films.
Yeah. That he's remembered to call my house 4 or 5 times already about.
Tonight, a first one feature at the Delabate household.
My film of The Late Shift, he remembers to hand out to people, but when I ask him to get me tapes of something, that he can't. Oh, I forgot, Wolf.
It's my fault for not following up.
Yeah. You heard that. It's my fault I didn't follow up. I mean, why are you following up about the Miramax film, which is probably low on the priority list, and you can't follow up?
Saturday entertainment is high on the priority list.
No, I need to see that film.
Man, I need entertainment.
He doesn't want to send this back. He wants to watch it and then loan it out to Stuttering John.
Miramax hasn't been bugging him for that copy.
I need to make a copy of that.
Yeah. Believe me, you don't.
Well, I'll loan it to Grillo, then you can make a copy.
And if the Miramax people are listening, I'm taking the Beautiful Girls tape, and I promise you I will burn it. I'm not going to give it back to Gary Dell'Abate.
All people on the sign-out sheet, Beautiful Girls has just been removed.
Beautiful Girls will not be available on the sign-out sheet today because Howard has gotten wise to my distribution program.
No more reservations taken.
Right.
Does he have a new releases list?
Yeah, new releases. Coming up, Gary Dell'Abate's new releases list.
Coming soon.
You know, I just really resent my mail being gone through like that. Jesus. He still doesn't get it. He still doesn't understand why I get pissed off.
Well, now he's pissed off at all of us. So.
Good. Oh, man. Baba Booey, get in here.
Oh, no.
I want to see if he understands now. I want to see if he's actually...
I don't know if he even heard what you said.
I want to see if he comprehended. He was going to tell me, why aren't you mad at Ralph? Why aren't you mad at Gorilla? Why don't I be mad at everyone?
You could. You could spend your whole day being mad.
Yeah, I'll be mad.
This is where you rail at him for like 45 minutes, and I snicker, and he throws my papers and pens at my head.
Right.
Begin at you.
Puffy, come here.
I can't. I'm on the phone to TriStar. Hello, TriStar? Wolf really wants to see that film.
I need Gary to repeat so that I make sure he understands.
Yes,
because for the 9 millionth time.
Like I said, he ran out during your
yeah, he ran out.
reading of the rules, so I don't know if he even heard it.
This show really sucks. You know that he's in there boiling, and Ganji's got the camera 1 inch from his
Yeah.
How'd it go?
What's this all about, Gary?
Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
All right, I'm not
why is everyone laughing at me?
I'm not going to give you the Beautiful Girls tape.
That's fine.
Because I'm afraid that you'll distribute it.
That I wouldn't, but you can do what you need to do. That's
what
fine.
I need. And as I was saying to Robin, I saw how you were calling my house every 15 minutes for the Beautiful Girls tape. I have at least 9 messages.
Well, no, because they were calling me for it. The people from the movie company called me.
It's amazing how you can remember that. But remember that tape I asked you to make last week?
Right.
That you couldn't remember.
Okay.
All right. So that's the point.
Mm-hmm.
Do not. And don't blame Ralph.
One has nothing to do with the other.
Oh, it has a lot to do with it because you're so busy with these late shift tapes and a list and loaning out. That's something that shouldn't even be on your schedule.
Howard, the
you have
people
too much
from the
free
beautiful,
time.
the people from that gave you Beautiful Girls,
right,
called me 5 times and asked you to return it. That's all.
I see. So
whether
when I ask for something,
has nothing to do with whether they're two separate issues.
But no, it isn't because the one thing
I have
that
a whole day. If I forget to do something, I forget to do it.
The one thing that you are capable of remembering is Beautiful Girls.
Well, that's because somebody calls me.
I think it's because you wanted to watch it.
No, Howard, they call me and ask me for it.
I see.
Would you like me to get the lady on the phone?
So my stuff gets overlooked.
No. Would you like me to get the lady on the phone?
No.
They called me 5 times. Her name is Nancy.
So how many times do I have to ask you 5 times for something?
No, you don't. But Howard, that woman was
Gary,
calling me.
all I'm saying is,
I got you.
Don't blame Ralph. Don't blame anyone else.
But I will also. I'm not mad at Ralph.
Do you work for her or me?
Of course I work for you.
Right, so remember my stuff. Remember my stuff first.
But I will tell Ralph now not to ask me ever again for anything that belongs to you.
Wrong. Wrong answer. No. He can ask every day.
And the answer is no. So I'm telling him in advance, don't ask because the answer is no. Ralph should know the answer is no. It's a waste of his breath to ask.
What happens if Ralph is like you and forgets that he's not supposed to ask you?
The answer is no. But he should know that in advance.
Okay, good. Now he knows it in advance, but let's just say it happens like about 3 months from now, like when you usually forget.
Right.
Let's say Ralph comes to you and says, I want to borrow something.
Well, no, it's not just Ralph. The answer is no to everybody. I try to single Ralph out.
There you go.
The answer is no to Gorilla and John and Jackie and Fred and sometimes Robin.
So would it be fair to ask you to repeat the following sentence? What's Voffs is Voffs?
What's Voffs is Voffs.
I will stop pilfering and distributing Voffs mail to friends and strangers and inner circle fellows.
Wait, you got to slow down.
I will stop pilfering.
I will stop pilfering.
And distributing Voffs mail.
And distributing Voffs mail.
To friends and strangers.
To friends and strangers.
And inner circle fellows.
And inner circle fellows.
I will protect Voffs mail.
I'll protect Voffs mail.
Tooth and nail.
Tooth and nail.
And more tooth.
And more tooth.
All right. I will not give Voff stuff.
I will not give Voff stuff.
To anyone.
To anyone.
Including Voff when he calls for it during his show. Just hold on to everything. All right. All right. Now you've learned, Ralph. Have you learned?
Yes. And Gary, I thought that was your tape.
Yeah.
There was a
moment where I thought it was too, but I realized now it wasn't.
It is not your tape. In other words, the producer, whoever it would be, would get that tape. See? Right. Let's say I fire you today and I hire Joe Blow to be producer. Mm-hmm. It would be, even though it says Gary Dell'Abate,
right?
It would go to the producer of the show, not Gary Dell'Abate.
Have I been sufficiently...
Yes. Yes.
Degraded?
Yes.
Humiliated?
I just don't know if you understood. That's the scary part. All right. Thank you.
30 minutes, but I understand.
All right. Good. As long as you understand. Because we've had this discussion before.
Yes, we have.
So don't act like it's a new discussion.
30 minutes. He's getting better.
Yeah. Usually it's an hour. All right. Thank you, Gary Delabate. And thank you, Ralph.
You're a funny woman.
Yeah.
Killing me.
Gary understands. What is that, Gary Puppet?
I have a request. Could you call a puppet maker? Have you seen Gary lately? I need a thicker neck.
Yes, you do. All right. There goes Gary, and Ralph is leaving, too.
Did you want this bag, or
yeah.
Can I go through it?
You want to go through my mail? Go ahead. Feel free. If you see anything you need, take it.
Any tapes in there?
All right. There he goes. Gaga Vugugui.
Fluffa Flowly.
Fluffa Flowly.
Booey.
Thank you, Fluffa Booey.
Okay, boo.
Do me a favor, Gary. When I get tapes and things sent to me, don't give copies to people and send them out. Okay?
What's that?
Papa Fohai.
No, Fafa Fohai has a strange way of doing business.
Flowly.
Remember, everything that's sent here is mine.
Right.
Even when people send you something, it's mine.
Okay.
All right?
So what are we talking about in particular?
The copy, The Late Shift.
Okay. I actually did make a copy. I lent it to Gorilla.
Yeah, how did Ralph end up making a copy?
I have no idea. Gorilla asked me if he could borrow it, and I gave it to him. I didn't make any copy. I don't make copies of tapes ever.
Why? Who sent you The Late Shift?
HBO.
Right. Why did they send it to you?
They knew you had a copy, and they wanted me to see it.
They wanted you to see it?
Yeah.
I don't need you to see anything. It doesn't help me at all.
They wanted me to see it.
They wanted you to see it.
Really
Why did they
did.
want you to see it?
I don't know. I deal with the woman all the time.
I'll tell you why they want you to see it. They want you to see it because you work on my show.
Okay, that's
All
fine.
Right. If you get a tape sent to you, you watch it.
I did.
All right. And then what do you do with it?
Gorilla asked me if he could see it. I didn't think it was a problem. I didn't know anybody was going to.
No. Don't pass around my
So
tape.
I know that somebody's going to make a copy of it. I'm aware.
You don't know what anyone's going to do with it. Hear what I'm saying again.
Okay.
When I get sent a tape, which is even if it's in your name, the reason they're sending it to you is because you're my producer.
Gotcha.
You could watch it, and then just put it in my bag or do something like that, or destroy it.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
I got a copy of a movie from a movie company. What's the name of that movie I just got a copy of? You see this?
You said what, Beautiful Girls?
Beautiful Girls, right?
Oh.
I don't dare
Don't waste your time.
I don't dare give it to Baba Booey because he makes copies of it.
Howard, I've never
and
made
this has my name on
Hold on a second. I've never made a copy of a tape in my life.
Don't give it out to people.
That's fine. But
Listen, if I wanted to be a good guy and give Gorilla a tape, I would.
You're right, but don't accuse me of making copies. That's a whole different issue.
Let me tell you something. When you give it to people, when you give it to people, they make copies.
Right.
Last night I get a call from Ralph. Hey, I watched The Late Shift. This was a couple of nights ago. I watched The Late Shift. I go, how did you see it? It hasn't aired yet. Oh, Gary gave me a copy of the tape. I made a copy of it. I said, well, why? Why? You know, I'm saying to myself, why? Why is this going on? What am I, a tape distribution center? I don't need that. It doesn't serve my purpose to have all these people running around with tapes. See, like this movie was sent to me from the movie studio, they code it, so they know that this was my copy. If they see copies of it, they know that I made copies of it.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they code it. It's got a code on it. In fact, here it is, 108C. If they see that,
they'll know you.
It's numbered on the cassette.
To other people.
Yeah, and then I'll go to jail. You ever see that thing? 1-800-NO-COPIES?
FBI will come and get you.
FBI will come and get me. But Baba Booey doesn't care.
I do care.
He wants to
Howard.
be a good guy. Don't give my tapes to Gorilla or anyone else.
Who knew that anybody would make a copy? But I'm wrong. But I did not.
Why
make
do I
copies.
know it, but you don't? I know it. I know not to give it. That's why I don't rush back with things, because I don't know what you're going to do with it.
That's right.
It's true. I can't trust you.
You don't rush back with that? That's
Yeah.
because I'm going to make a copy of it?
I don't know what you're going to do with it. You might hand
Then
it
why
out
ever
to your
give it to me?
friends. You might give it to your cousins.
Then why
I
ever
don't
give
know.
it
I
to me?
can't trust you with
Trust
anything.
me,
You're
fine. Give me the
stupid as a
tape.
wall.
That's right.
That's what I'm telling you.
Give me the tape.
You're not bright.
Send it back yourself.
You're not bright.
Pick which one you want to do.
You're not bright.
Yeah, that's right.
Gary, here's the rule. Anything. I've said this rule 900 times, Gary. He walked out. Here is the rule. I'm going to repeat it again for him. Anything that is sent in the mail under the name Gary Delabooey, Delabobby, Delabati, or under Howard Stern, if it's sent to this radio show, I don't want him distributing it to other people. Period. It's my mail.
Now, would you get somebody to tape that so Gary will hear it?
And play it over and over again? How many times have I had this discussion with him? But I gave it to Gorilla. I don't. He didn't make a copy.
Once a year you have this discussion.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than once a year. And then he walks out. He doesn't hear it.
He forgets after he.
He's like moronic. I don't know why. I can't trust him. After all these years, he doesn't get it. It's my mail. He can't deal with that. He became a whole superstar. I put him on the radio. He became a superstar. I have an office full of superstars. I don't have an office full of workers. I have an office full of superstars. That's my problem. My interns are superstars. They're appearing on Broadway. I get to interns. They're on Broadway. I mean, I've got superstars working for me, and all of them are permanent. I mean, Baba Booey's the worst. He's got appearances.
Baba Flunky.
Well,
I need a worker.
There should be, perks that you can hand out.
Yeah. He's a good guy. And then you say to him, I don't want you handing this thing out. I just gave it to Gorilla. I didn't ask you to give it to... What purpose does that serve? Why are you doing that? And why is it not given back to me? I'll just give it away, both. Both? I'll give my tapes away, both.
How was I supposed to know?
But HBO wanted me to see it. Well, they wanted you to see it. Why do you think they want you to see it? He doesn't get it. He thinks they really want Baba Booey to see it.
Just personally.
Yeah. HBO needed feedback from Baba Booey. He's a big star.
Is he going to be calling with his critique?
Yeah. He calls HBO. He is hired by them to give his critique of these things. How should I know what I did? I'll forget. All I know is that tape ended up making the rounds to everybody.
I never saw it.
God forbid you should see it.
No, they wouldn't give it to me.
That would be great if you saw it. That might have actually helped me. I am an important player in this business. This is show business.
If I find out something around here, I have to do it myself. Nobody's helping me.
How did you end up with a copy of The Late Show?
I kind of feel bad.
Why? Why would you feel bad? It's not your fault.
That Gary's getting in trouble.
Well, Gary should be in trouble. Gary's moronic. He's supposed to be my producer who goes through my confidential mail, put it in my bag, and then destroy it. HBO didn't send it over for Ralph or Gorilla. They're not interested in you seeing it. You know when you should see it? When it airs, like everyone else.
Yep.
I get a call from Ralph. I've just completed viewing the... I said, how did you finish viewing The Late Shift? Oh, I got my personal copy from Gary, which I copied. Why would you feel bad that Gary... You feel bad that Gary's a moron? I feel bad. Gary's my... How do you think I feel that Gary's a moron?
He's mad at me now.
He shouldn't be mad at you. You have nothing to do with this. He's the dope. Why is he mad at you? That's the most moronic thing I've ever heard come out of his mouth. How could he be mad at you? He's the moron who released the tape. Why would you be at fault? For once, you're innocent, Ralph. That's why he's in here.
Of course.
What do you got to do with it? It's the source.
I just didn't think it would be a problem. I thought, you know
what it is? You're a complete idiot, and you don't know why anything's a problem. But worse, my producer's stupider than you.
Nothing is ever a problem to you.
Nothing's a problem. I didn't think it'd be a problem.
I wanted to check it out.
Well, maybe it wasn't a problem this time, but maybe if this tape had gotten out, maybe I would have returned this tape to Gary thinking he's going to send it back, and he would have released it to you guys, where you make copies, and I got to be responsible for it.
I can understand that.
So why isn't my mail treated confidentially? I don't understand. I just don't get it. But why would you feel bad? You feel bad that Gary's stupid. We all feel bad Gary's stupid.
And now it's just going to be like one of those things. Gary's going to be all stuck in his craw about me, and he's going to blame
about you.
He's going to blame
why
me.
Would he blame you? Explain to me why he'd blame you.
I walked up there and said, Gary, I'm sorry that you got in trouble or whatever, and he said, well, you should be, and
why should you be? Why should you feel bad that he's a moron? In other words, he took the tape and distributed it to people. So Gary would think you're a great guy.
Yeah, but he didn't know I was going to make a copy.
But that's the point. How would he know what you're going to do with it? Yeah, well, how does he know what you're going to do with it? That's my point. Why is he not worried about my mail? How could you be mad at Ralph? You're the moron who released my tape.
Because Ralph asked me for it, and the answer was no. And then he said I made a copy.
He took it from who?
From Gorilla. Okay, I should have given it to Gorilla, but Ralph asked me, Ralph said, can I have this tape? And I said, no. Then Ralph took it and made a copy.
Of course, because you released it to Gorilla.
That's fine. But you don't think I should...
Why do you release my mail?
How come I'm wrong, okay?
You're absolutely wrong.
Now, how come Ralph can do pretty much anything he wants?
Ralph cannot do whatever he wants. Ralph's gotten into trouble on this show many times.
Ralph can look on my desk and look at my notes.
Why do you keep your notes on the desk?
I don't anymore. But don't you think Ralph is just as wrong?
No.
There's no equal.
Here, I'm going to explain it to you because you don't see things clearly. You are the source of my mail. If you release my mail to anybody,
Right.
If you release my mail to anybody, that's when the problem begins.
I understand that, but
when you say no to Ralph, and then Gorilla has a copy, and Gorilla gives it to Ralph, it's not Ralph who's my problem. You're my problem.
I agree.
Not Ralph.
I agree. But so he just goes and makes a copy. That's not a problem.
Right.
Because once I've released it, no matter what anybody does,
Gorilla didn't tell him not to make a problem.
That's within the inner circle. Knows better.
You're the problem, Gary. Okay. You released it.
Okay, I'm the problem.
Don't release anything out of this office. Stop being a good guy. You're not a superstar. You're Baba Booey.
I never said I was a superstar.
You become a whole star.
No, I haven't become
You're
a star.
releasing tapes. You're a video release guy. Don't give anything of mine to Gorilla, unless you ask me.
Right.
Don't give anything of mine to Ralph. Don't give anything of mine to Tom Chiasano.
That's fine.
Tom Chiasano, I can't go into his. I can't go to his secretary and say, "Give me Tom's calendar for the day." Why do you release things of mine? How come every idiot on the planet knows not to take their boss's stuff and give it out except you?
Because I'm.
But you're going to blame Ralph somehow.
Gary, I still think that he should have taken it.
No,
Gary, but wait,
you're wrong.
I'm wrong.
Gorilla, he got it from Gorilla, not from you.
Gary.
Yeah.
You said no to me, not because, like, no, you can't see it. No, because Gorilla had it next, and then John had it after him, and I was last in line. So it was a matter of time. So
there was a whole line.
There was a line. I had to wait
there's
in line.
A whole line.
So instead of waiting in line,
my mail. Wait a second. Gorilla, here's the rest of my mail. Here. Take it and go through it and see what else you want, okay? Because Gary wants you to have all my mail. Evidently, you can take my mail and go through it. Go through everything of mine. Take whatever you want. Go through the office and see what else you need. Don't consult me.
Excuse me, Howard.
Yeah.
I want to get you a copy of your 1996 tax returns back from Ralph. I lent them to him.
Why don't you just give us a list of what you have so we can pick over?
Gorilla, would it help you if I made a list of what I have?
No.
All right. I'm not mad at you. Don't worry. There's nothing to do with you. I give Gary. There's more and more jobs I got to take away from Gary because he screws them up. But come on, my mail. It's a no-brainer. You go through it, and then whatever I told him we don't need, you throw in the garbage, and the rest you give to me.
Ralph told me he wanted to take it and watch it in the back, and then all of a sudden he was making a dub of it.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. You're not to blame.
I told you what I was doing.
Ralph is not to blame. The problem is Gary. He gave away my mail.
Gary is saying that there's an inner circle and that they should know what to do.
Oh, they should. How come he doesn't know what to do?
I gave it to people who are a member of the inner circle.
What inner circle? Interns?
I don't know what the inner circle is. He just said that. I just thought I'd bring it up. I didn't know there was an inner circle.
Who's in the inner circle?
I'm not in the inner circle.
Evidently. Everybody has to be divided.
Gary, who's in the inner circle?
Oh, let's see. Ganji and Willow.
What about the janitor?
Doug from E. By the way, Ralph, where's that key of Howard's house you made copies of? I think I might need it back.
You need one?
I don't know what's confidential and what isn't. He hands out my mail.
So the inner circle, but he said the inner circle, he gave it to the inner circle. That's why he's angry that you're not angry at Ralph.
But both.
He gave it to the inner circle, and the inner circle knows what to do.
Oh, I see. How come he doesn't know what to do? But both, Ivan Reitman made late shift and Betty, so I figured it's important that the inner circle see her work so they can approve it.
Family.
Yeah. Don't you want them to critique it? I get Ralph on my answer machine. I have my critique of the late shift. I thought that you'd be interested.
Oh, dear.
And I'm like, no, I'm not.
What an irritating call.
Yeah, right. I'm like, well, how did he get it? Baba Booey.
Oh.
I just said, Ralph, how'd you get it? I act naive. Oh, gee, Ralph, hey, that's great. How'd you get it? Baba Booey.
Well, now you hear there was a list. It was a sign-out sheet.
I guess so. So. Baba Booey must have a sign-out sheet for all my mail that he releases to the interns.
Oh, it's like Blockbuster Video.
Yeah, for the inner circle.
Did you have to pay a late charge?
Yeah. I just wonder what else of mine is being leased out.
But you know what I hate? Like, now he's just going to be mad at me because you like me.
Ralph, let me tell you something.
That's ridiculous.
This has nothing to do with you.
No,
this has nothing to do with Gorilla. It's all him. And he still doesn't understand that it's not your fault.
But Ralph does have a problem. He's now saying Gary's going to be upset with him, and you're.
But that's another one of Gary's faults. Failure to see who's responsible. He's going to figure out some way you're responsible.
And then it all trickles down.
Well, Ralph, you blew it. If you had kept quiet, we could have kept releasing Howard's mail to you, but now we can't.
And then it trickles down, and Gorilla starts assessing blame, like he didn't know, and everybody gets defensive. And
there's nothing. It's between me and Gary. He's not going to somehow throw this off onto you or Gorilla. If you're in charge of my mail, And you make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And Ralph is a bad person because he reads the notes on Gary's desk. Well, who doesn't read the notes on Gary's desk?
You can't help it.
I don't really sit and read, but
everyone does.
You walk in there, you're leaning over the desk to get a piece of paper. All of a sudden, a note is in your
Record
desk.
company guys read my notes on his desk. Those are my notes, boss. They shouldn't read them.
Isn't it wrong for people to do what they're not supposed to do?
Yeah.
Now I'm sorry that I keep copies of that videotape to my toll taker, and my parking lot attendant, and my milkman.
It's going around
and the guy who rakes my lawn.
Oh, that's Gary's way of, and you know what it is? That takes energy to sit there and keep track of these tapes. And his energy is going to stupid stuff like that. That's what I resent most. That's what he's busy with, tapes.
Work at a video store.
Yeah, that's where he would be if it wasn't for me. He'd be working in a video store.
Blockbuster, Gary Delabate's office.
Yeah. Toothbuster. I'm sitting there at home steaming all week, and I go, it's amazing. Ralph has my mail. And Gorilla and John, but Gary decided that this is pieces of my mail that can be distributed.
Ralph, stop laughing.
It's amazing. It's just amazing. And Gary goes, Ralph asked me for it. I get confused.
I said no.
But he said yes to Gorilla.
Little did I know
but you know
that Gorilla was a conduit.
He was performing a cover up there.
Yeah.
He's acting like I only gave it to Gorilla.
Yeah.
And then you find out there's John. And
right.
He was going through all these hands.
Yeah, just, distribute.
And he only said no to Ralph.
I don't know why he does this with my mail. And this is, this is the thing that drives me nuts. There's no confidentiality. I can't even have him open my mail. And really, what is left for him to do if he doesn't open my mail?
Well, he does book guests.
Oh, that's right. No one can do that.
Spell my name for guests. Capital D, E-L-L, apostrophe, capital A, B-A-T-E.
So I'm sitting here with this tape. I'm supposed to return to Miramax Films, and I'm shaking in my pants.
Wondering how many copies are out.
Yeah, like I can't give this to him because I know because he keeps calling the house every day. Bring it back, bring it back. I know what he wants. First of all, he needs to see it.
Right.
Which it doesn't do me any good if he sees it. Mary and I want to screen something.
Now that we have the baby, we can't go out, so give me all your free films.
We're going to have a movie party. Everybody in the neighborhood, come on over. Bring the VCRs.
Mary and I will watch Beautiful Girls.
Right. Mary and I and our friends will screen Howard's movies.
We will have another couple come over, and we will watch a movie.
And the reason I haven't brought it back in is because he's been driving me nuts about it. And all of a sudden, then I see that he's giving my tapes out to be, dubbed.
Oh, so it's been a thing on his mind that he's bugging you.
Oh, yeah. Most things he doesn't remember. I asked him to get me tapes 2 weeks ago of something. He didn't remember that. But this tape, he remembers. This is the one thing he's focused in on, the Miramax film.
Well, I got to have my weekend's entertainment.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of time to duplicate films.
Yeah. That he's remembered to call my house 4 or 5 times already about.
Tonight, a first-born feature at the Delabate household.
My film of The Late Shift, he remembers to hand out to people, but when I ask him to get me tapes of something, that he can't. Oh, I forgot, Wolf.
It's my fault for not following up.
Yeah. You heard that. It's my fault I didn't follow up. I mean, why are you following up about the Miramax film, which is probably low on the priority list, and you can't follow up?
Well, Saturday entertainment is high on the priority list.
No, I need to see that film.
Man, I need entertainment.
He doesn't want to send this back. He wants to watch it and then and loan it out to Stuttering John.
Miramax hasn't been bugging him for that copy.
I need to make a copy of that.
Yeah. Believe me, you don't.
Well, I'll loan it to Grillo. Then you can make a copy.
And if the Miramax people are listening, I'm taking the Beautiful Girls tape, and I promise you I will burn it. I'm not going to give it back to Gary Delabate.
All people on the sign-out sheet, Beautiful Girls has just been removed.
Beautiful Girls will not be available on the sign-out sheet today because Howard has gotten wise to my distribution program.
No more reservations taken.
Right.
Does he have a new releases list?
Yeah, new releases. Coming up, Gary Delabate's new releases list.
Coming soon.
I just really resent my mail being gone through like that. Jesus. He still doesn't get it. He still doesn't understand why I get pissed off.
Well, now he's pissed off at all of us. So.
Good. Oh, man. Papa Booey, get in here.
Oh, no.
I want to see if he understands now. I want to see if he's actually...
I don't know if he even heard what you said.
I want to see if he comprehended. He was going to tell me, why aren't you mad at Ralph? Why aren't you mad at Gorilla? Why don't I be mad at everyone?
You could. You could spend your whole day being mad.
Yeah, I'll be mad.
This is where you rail at him for like 45 minutes, and I snicker, and he throws my papers and pens at my head.
Right. Papa Foley, come here.
I can't. I'm on the phone to TriStar. Hello, TriStar? Wolf really wants to see that film.
I need Gary to repeat so that I make sure he understands.
Yes,
because for the 9 millionth time.
Like I said, he ran out during your
he ran out.
Reading of the rules, so I don't know if he even heard it.
This show really sucks. You know that he's in there boiling, and Ganji's got the camera 1 inch from his mouth.
How'd it go?
What's this all about, Gary?
Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Right, I'm not
why is everyone laughing at me?
I'm not going to give you the Beautiful Girls tape.
That's fine.
Because I'm afraid that you'll distribute it.
I wouldn't, but you can do what you need to do. That's
what
fine.
I need, and as I was saying to Robin, I saw how you were calling my house every 15 minutes for the Beautiful Girls tape. I have at least 9 messages.
Well, no, because they were calling me for it. The people from the movie company called me.
It's amazing how you can remember that, but remember that tape I asked you to make last week?
Right.
That you couldn't remember.
Okay.
All right, so that's the point. Do not... And don't blame
Howard,
Ralph.
one has nothing to do with the other.
Oh, it has a lot to do with it because you're so busy with these late shift tapes and a list and loaning it out. That's something that shouldn't even be on your schedule.
Howard,
you have too much free time.
The people that gave you Beautiful Girls called me 5 times and asked you to return it. That's all.
I see. So
whether
when I ask for something,
has nothing to do with whether they're two separate issues.
But no, it isn't, because the one thing
I have
that
a whole day. If I forget to do something, I forget to do it.
The one thing that you are capable of remembering is Beautiful Girls.
Well, that's because somebody calls me.
I think it's because you wanted to watch it.
No, Howard, they call me and ask me for it.
I see.
Would you like me to get the lady on the phone?
So my stuff gets overlooked.
No. Would you like me to get the lady on the phone?
No.
They called me 5 times. Her name is Nancy.
So how many times do I have to ask you 5 times for something?
No, you don't. But Howard, that woman was calling me.
Gary, all I'm saying is,
I got you.
Don't blame Ralph. Don't blame anyone else.
But I will also. I'm not mad at Ralph.
Do you work for her or me?
Of course I work for you.
Right, so remember my stuff. Remember my stuff first.
But I will tell Ralph now not to ask me ever again for anything that belongs to you.
No, wrong answer. He can ask every day.
And the answer is no. So I'm telling him in advance, don't ask because the answer is no. Ralph should know the answer is no. It's a waste of his breath to ask.
What happens if Ralph is like you and forgets that he's not supposed to ask you?
The answer is no. But he should know that in advance.
Okay, good. Now he knows it in advance, but let's just say it happens like about 3 months from now, like when you usually forget.
Right.
Let's say Ralph comes to you and says, I want to borrow something.
Well, no, it's not just Ralph. The answer is no to everybody. I should single Ralph out.
There you go.
The answer is no to Gorilla and John and Jackie and Fred and sometimes Robin.
So would it be fair to ask you to repeat the following sentence? What's Voffs is Voffs?
What's Voffs is Voffs.
I will stop pilfering and distributing Voffs mail to friends and strangers and inner circle fellows.
Wait, you got to slow down.
I will stop pilfering.
I will stop pilfering.
And distributing Voffs mail.
And distributing Voffs mail.
To friends and strangers.
To friends and strangers.
And inner circle fellows.
And inner circle fellows.
I will protect Voffs mail.
I'll protect Voffs mail.
Tooth and nail.
Tooth and nail.
And more tooth.
And more tooth.
All right. I will not give Voff stuff.
I will not give Voff stuff.
To anyone.
To anyone.
Including Voff when he calls for it during his show. Just hold on to everything. All right. All right. Now you've learned, Ralph. Have you learned?
Yes. And Gary, I thought that was your tape.
Yeah.
There was
a moment where I thought it was too, but I realized that wasn't.
It is not your tape. In other words, the producer, whoever it would be, would get that tape. See? Right. Let's say I fire you today and I hire Joe Blow to be producer. It would be, even though it says Gary Dell'Abate,
right? It
would go to the producer of the show, not Gary Dell'Abate.
Have I been sufficiently
Yes.
Degraded?
Yes.
Humiliated?
I just don't know if you understood. That's the scary part. All right. Thank you.
30 minutes, but I understand.
All right. Good. As long as you understand, because we've had this discussion before.
Yes, we have.
So don't act like it's a new discussion.
30 minutes. He's getting better.
Yeah. Usually it's an hour. All right. Thank you, Gary Dell'Abate. And thank you, Ralph.
You're a funny woman.
Yeah.
Killing me.
Gary understands. What is that, Gary Puppet?
I have a request. Could you call a puppet maker? Have you seen Gary lately? I need a thicker neck.
Yes, you do. All right. There goes Gary, and Ralph is leaving, too.
Did you want this bag, or?
Yeah.
Can I go through it?
You want to go through my mail? Go ahead. Feel free. If you see anything you need, take it.
Any tapes in there?
All right. There he goes. Gaga Gooey.
Flop slowly.
Flop slowly.
I think Obama's an honorable guy.
You do, okay.
And, you know, I know one of
your friends... He should get out of Afghanistan. That's what he should do, instead of sending more troops.
I remember Judith Regan. I was walking with her, and she said, what's going to be your next book? I said, I don't know. She said, do Obama. There's a good story there.
What does she know?
And
I'm saying, what do you mean?
She just thought it would take off. But I'm not a political guy, man.
You don't care?
Well, I'm happy that Obama's there.
Do you think Judith knows something about? Do you think Judith knows something about Obama?
Oh, Judith knows something about everyone, man.
Right.
She's the real deal.
Does she eat ass?
Judith? I don't know. I've never been in her bedroom, but I respect
say she'd do it. I say she's up for a party.
She's one of the smartest people I've ever met in this whole business.
I agree.
Her BS detector is so high.
Yeah. She knew all my BS. All right, listen. God bless you. Good luck to you. Hope you have a big hit with your book. It's called Brangelina. It's in stores tomorrow. That's Ian Halpern. And,
well, now we'll have to wait and see if this prediction comes true. 12 to 18 months and kaput.
Yep, we'll see how you do with this one. You predicted Michael Jackson's death based on your other Michael Jackson book there.
And regrettably, I like Jackson, but I'm not like you. I really did like Jackson, but, you know, the bottom line with Jackson, let me tell you one thing. If they would have listened to me when I made that prediction and not dismissed, my prediction went all over the world, they dismissed it and started booking him 50 shows.
Right.
They should have checked this guy into hospital with legitimate doctors.
Yeah, why don't more people listen to you?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
They're learning, you know, but Michael Jackson was the greatest, and I think he'll be missed forever.
All right. We got to take a break, Robin. It's been fascinating.
Always with Ian.
Ian
Just
always
to look at him is fascinating.
Yeah. His look alone is fascinating. Yeah. Sorry.
You're looking better every time I get here.
Well, thank you.
You look stunning today.
I hope his next book is about Antonio Banderas, so you guys can do the merengue.
Thank you, Ian.
Ian, so it sounds like you did your homework and you got the facts.
Well, Howard had the facts. You know, every time I come on Howard's show, he's better than any clown at 60 Minutes. This guy he's the king of all media. He knows the right questions to ask. He doesn't let me off easy because he does his homework, and that's the key to this business. And I enjoy it. I enjoy being challenged, and Robin also knew her stuff today, so it was really a fascinating experience being here and very enlightening.
Now, what do you have to say to the people that do challenge you and don't believe what you have to say?
Well, read the book. You know, my track record shows, 13, 14 books later, everything I've written is true, and if they could find one thing wrong in this book, I will sleep naked in Times Square for a month, and I'm not kidding you. That's how hard I worked on Brangelina, and it's a very sympathetic portrayal of the couple, but, you know, it's warts and all, and obviously they have a lot of skeletons in their closet. A lot of journalists have been afraid to reveal it. I'm not.
And this is the second time you've gotten Howard up to dance. Not many guests can do that. What's the connection?
Well, let me tell you something. All right, Stern, Dancing with the Stars should target him right now because he can actually dance. I'm not a dancer. He actually has some good rhythm, and I think he would kick Donny Osmond's ass in a heartbeat.
All right, man. Thanks for stopping by today.
Peace out, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Show was on last night. JD's got to make a decision on it. Judging by the email, I think Ronnie's going to get the hook.
Well, I don't know. It's all up to JD.
Listen to this. Here. JD was right again. The auto show tonight blows. And is in fact the most boringest show ever. Bury this show with Ronnie and... Oh, this is a terrible comment.
Oh, no. They didn't go there, did they?
Yeah, that was bad.
Oh,
I didn't read this ahead of time.
Yeah,
I won't read that.
That's not nice.
Yeah, okay. No need to get personal.
Right. Our fans can be vicious.
I only caught the second half of the show, but that was more than I needed. Here are the problems. Your audience does not care to listen to this. 2, they have such little to talk about that they have covered the same stuff several times on the different shows. 3, the only so-called experts are from the car dealership, so their advice is skewed to help them and not the car consumer. For example, they tried to sell that extended warranty as a great idea. 4, the broad on the show is an annoying know-it-all. Can't you just bring in the Sibian to make her interesting? There may be an audience for this garbage, but surely not on the channels run by the king of all media. This one says, JD, you don't have a hair on your ass if you don't cancel this shitty show. What has changed? It is unlistenable. I'm 30 minutes into it, and I'm out.
Did JD pull any clips?
I believe you did. Did you pull clips?
I pulled clips.
Did you listen to the whole show?
I listened to the whole show.
Well, that seems to be an improvement.
With all the talk about the Ronnie Carr show, I would tune in and check it out. I quickly turned the channel back to 100. I would rather listen to Nails on a Chalkboard than this horrible show. I got to tell you, there's not one positive email.
Not one. But do you think that's because everybody loves seeing Ronnie miserable about not having his show?
I don't know. It seems like people were really trying to like it. You know, they like Ronnie.
There was actually one email that said that they thought that the show was pretty good and informative, but he must have changed it for the worse because now this guy doesn't like it.
Oh, by the way, the couple who crashed the White House, they're on the Today Show this morning. So they must have paid the money, I guess.
I don't know. They were getting such heat, they might just need the publicity.
We all gave the Car Show another chance. We tried to bear it, but the show is just a piece of fucking shit. Ronnie cannot host a show. Save us, JD. This guy writes, some unlistenable dribble. I think he meant drivel, but okay. Why be a stickler on language? Some unlistenable dribble. Ronnie is not a good communicator. COMMNICATOR. I do not want to hear about refinancing or a fucking Wayne Siegel commercial. Kill it, JD. Howard, I want to thank you for airing Ronnie's show last night. My prescription for Ambien ran out, and I've been having a hard time falling asleep lately. I tried everything, warm milk, counting sheep, nothing worked. Finally, I gave up and tuned into Howard 101 and heard Ronnie's show. Holy shit, what a snooze fest.
That's negative.
The only thing that kept my interest was Ronnie saying, what's your problem every time someone called in? But even that got old after 2 callers.
Oh.
Is that Ronnie's new thing? He says, what's your problem?
Yes.
Yeah. The chick is annoying. Those other 2 guys are annoying. I love Ronnie, but he has to understand the show just doesn't fit. Give JD his executive powers and get this show off the air. I'd rather listen to one of those emergency broadcast tests that they used to run on the radio for an hour than Ronnie's Car Show. You're getting hammered here, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
what do you think? I didn't expect it?
Wow.
I said as soon as we got off the air last night, I go, gonna get slammed like unbelievable. Even if the show is the greatest show ever.
Here's a guy who says, I love when Ronnie says, what's your problem? When you pick up the phone over there.
Yeah, okay.
So I thought this was going to be a positive. He says, that is simply the best way to introduce a caller ever. I thought these guys were supposed to be experts, yet they gave out some pretty inaccurate info. I love Ronnie. I actually find his part on the auto show entertaining. He seems like a car guy who just likes what he likes. The other alleged experts even appear to be shoveling as much bullshit as they can. Anyway, it wasn't the most boringest show ever. I hope it stays on. So here's your positive.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
1 out of 6,000.
I know. You got hammered on us.
Yeah, I know. I knew it was coming, man.
JD, was there a
no matter what?
Is there a clip you can play us to give us an example of how Ronnie did last night?
Sure. Try go to JD1 in red. Clip 3.
All right, what is Ronnie doing here? Do you need to set this up?
I forget what it's called. I think it's called consumer credit issues.
Okay.
Let's get into the consumer credit issues. How does it work? Can customers get credit? Have things improved since the last time we've been on the air?
Very slightly. Not much.
Can I appoint somebody to talk about this real quick? If you got so much,
show,
you got so much to say.
I don't.
Sean King from King of Rock. Go ahead.
I just said it.
What do you got to say?
They've lightened up a little bit, but not much. Not to the point where we could be selling in the volume that we were accustomed to.
Right.
There's customers coming in that we've had to give it back about 5 deposits this week for people that normally would be driving right now. But
holy mackerel! Wow. I don't even know what those guys are talking about. I mean, it sounds very.
Why would you even bring up that topic?
Yeah,
well, that's what. Hey, listen, they made a format for me, and that's what I followed. Okay.
What are you talking about there? Explain it to me, because I don't understand the issue. Consumer what?
Consumer credit.
Yeah, what's going on?
If you want to get a lease, or if you want to, buy a car.
Because it's impossible to get a lease, right?
It's impossible to get credit now. unless you're over 600 in credit,
right?
Or you have to go to one of these really like shit companies where you pay like 22% interest,
right?
It's called the mafia.
It's the guy on the corner.
The mafia doesn't even have the balls to give you 22%.
Yeah, it's like basically using a credit card,
right? Wow.
If you have shit credit,
Well, I guess it's good information. I guess people feel maybe
people were calling in, dude. I don't know. Everybody thought McClure, who produces the show, thought it was great.
He did? Yeah. I think he's afraid to tell you what it is.
Dude, I told him, tell me the truth. I don't care.
Really?
You tell me the fucking truth.
I got a lot of memos from some of the higher ups after the show, and it didn't seem like they loved it.
Like
honestly,
who?
I don't want to say.
Like who? Tim?
Yeah.
He's the one who said it was good.
He lies to you.
Why is he lying? Why doesn't he tell the fucking truth, idiot?
Here's a guy who listened to the show. Let's see what he has to say.
Stupid asshole.
Hi, you're on the air.
How you doing? Who's this, Howard?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Corky.
Oh, fuck him.
Corky's your
Fuck
nemesis.
that piece of shit. Shut him off.
Uh-oh. Let me weigh in on what I have to.
I don't want to hear your voice, man.
Well, let's hear what Corky has
I
to
don't
say.
want to hear him.
Let's hear what he has to say. Go ahead, Corky.
Listen, on the show, I would be able to teach people. You always ask, how do people last? How do people last? I know how to last. I can weigh in on how to have sex with your old lady while you're cheating on her and still, have sex. With the economy being the way it is, we could talk
Corky,
about...
Ronnie tried to have you on. You left.
What?
Yeah.
You left.
Well, Ronnie, I had to leave because I don't want to be around those people.
You're a psychopath. That's why you left.
What?
You're a psycho. That's why you left.
Yeah, I'm a psycho.
Yeah.
Look at you, Ronnie.
I'm calm as can be. You walked out of here sweating with your shirt off.
Yeah, first of all, I walked over there 6 blocks. It was 100 degrees that day.
Yeah, 100 degrees. We didn't have 100-degree fucking weather day in the summer. Come on. What the fuck are you talking about?
You didn't know that guy Jared actually ripped me off.
Jared?
Yeah, when Stone was still at K-Rock.
Corky, all I know is we told Ronnie to have you on the show. You said you could make the car show interesting. You knew everything about cars.
And then you left.
And then we get you up here and you act like a fucking lunatic and then you leave.
Right.
What do you mean acting like a lunatic?
Everyone said you were whacked out.
What do you mean everybody said
what happened?
Everybody said you were whacked out.
What do you mean? You don't
like
understand that?
You're in the bathroom every 5 minutes.
And then you left? Like, why did you leave?
You never got on. You left.
But I said I went to do the show with Ronnie.
Yeah, well you were going to do the show with Ronnie.
Ronnie was here.
You gave a guy that couldn't even put a sentence together the power to cancel it. Why don't you give me the power to fix it?
Come on, man.
No, Corky, I gave you the power to fix it, and you walked out. You never got on the air because you're a baby.
What do you mean I'm a baby?
You should have walked in there and shown us your stuff. You had a rare opportunity to get on there, and you walked out because other people were on the show. Don't be a douchebag. Just get in there and do your thing.
Well, I was trying to.
No, you weren't. You walked out. You never even got in the studio. Did he ever get in the studio?
He came in the studio.
Yeah.
We never even got on. We got on the air. And he never, because he wasn't on right from the beginning.
Right.
He got all insulted and he started to sweat. And he had to take his shirt off and he was running to the bathroom and then he ran to
shirt off.
Yeah, he took his shirt off.
Oh my God!
And then he runs over the gym and he goes, "I can't stay in this place anymore," and he runs out of the place.
You're whacked out.
It's like that guy who went nuts in Michael Clayton.
Corky, you're fucking nuts.
Give me a break, all right?
There was four other people in there. What's the big deal? There's 5 or 6 people in Howard's studio. You didn't run out of here.
Listen, I don't want to be part of that, all right? Look at it. It's the third
Well, what
show.
do you want to be part of?
You had an opportunity. You blew it.
Could have changed it.
You blew it.
All right, fine.
Yeah, good
It's
night.
true.
Go back to sleep, please.
Corky, it's the truth.
Wow.
How many guys get a shot? We listened to you on the phone. You were entertaining. You made some good points. I said to you, okay, I'll give you a shot. Get in on Ronnie's show. Ronnie goes, I'm not working with Corky. We talked to Ronnie. Ronnie goes, all right, I'll work with Corky. I mean, Ronnie can't stand you, and he was willing to work with you.
And then you come in and take your shirt off.
And you show up.
And you sweat.
You're sweating. You take your shirt off, and then you have to, I can't be in here.
I had freaking long pants and sneakers on. I walked. It was 100 degrees.
No, it was not 100 degrees.
So let's say it was 100 degrees. What do you need to leave for?
Go splash some water on your face.
Yeah, calm yourself down.
Well, he was in the bathroom enough times.
There's air conditioning in here. I don't understand what your problem is.
What are you doing in the bathroom?
Howie, when you were at 92.3 K-Rock, they gave me Sabian's number to call you up to do the show. I ended up talking to Jared. I've been talking to him for 3 years.
Corky, here's the facts.
First of all, Sabian didn't work at K-Rock with us.
Corky.
Jared didn't work at K-Rock with us.
Corky.
No, K-Rock. When you were at K-Rock, you gave me the phone number to Sirius to call over there.
Corky.
Yeah.
All I know is I got you down here. I put you on Ronnie's car show. And you walked off after 2 seconds.
Right. Forget all the other details.
Because other people, forget all the past. And because other people were in the studio, you can't do it.
What are you, a prima donna?
Yeah, I mean, who are you? You're nobody. What you got to do is become somebody. You had an opportunity. Even if you'd gotten on for 5 minutes, you could have shined or shown.
So, give me a chance to fix the show.
I gave you a chance. You walked out.
How many chances do you want?
You're done.
You didn't give me a chance. I came in expecting to do the show with Ronnie.
Yeah, Ronnie was sitting there. There were other people. That's right.
You had car dealers there telling people all kinds of
So
crazy.
you should have walked in and said, what kind of fucking show is this? You got a room full of car dealers. Why didn't these guys leave? You should have mixed it up.
All right, well, then my mistake. Give me another shot.
Another shot.
Well, we don't even know if this show still exists.
He'll come in with a gun this time. He'll give us a shot.
I'm waiting to hear what I don't even know that Jay's going to keep the show on the air.
Come on a cold day, so your shirt's on.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, maybe we'll have you on in the winter.
It was cold last night. It would have been good for him.
It's got to be a winter show.
It's hot outside.
We froze our ass off in the studio last night.
It's hot outside. He couldn't do the show.
I know. He was sweating, man.
Kept going to the bathroom.
Yeah, what was up with that?
Did you get caught in a blizzard in the bathroom?
Why did you go to the bathroom so much?
I don't know. I had to take a leak. What do you want?
How many leaks do you have to take?
Yeah, first time I went to wipe the sweat off my head, they had spotlights on me.
Oh, my God. Now you can't even have lights.
Holy shit.
They had spotlights on them. What is wrong with you, man? Nobody had spotlights on you. That's studio lights.
Right.
You want to work in the dark?
No, I don't want to work in the dark.
Howard TV was filming that night.
Well, that's a camera.
They had a camera.
It's showbiz.
Yeah, that's how it works, Corky.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you going to do, man?
Maybe showbiz isn't for you.
Come on, give me another shot. I can fix this show.
All this stuff is going to be the same, Corky. They're going to be lights.
It would have been great. You had something to complain about. You could have gotten in there and go, look at these fucking lights. What are these lights?
And he could have complained about the car dealers.
Right.
Get the fuck out.
Right.
Corky, I've been in
I don't like you guys. Get out.
No,
it would have been great.
It said Corky left.
Yeah.
That's some guy.
And he's insulting the chick who did absolutely nothing to him.
Yeah, he should have insulted her right on the air.
Corky, I've been in show business for 20 years. I've always looked horrendous in these lights.
Yeah. Corky, you had an opportunity. You had a room full of people you could have screamed about, and you would have been entertaining.
So give me a shot to fix the show.
You don't have what it takes.
Keeps with the shot. You had a shot.
You didn't recognize what a good opportunity you had. You're not a broadcaster.
You're right.
You blew it.
No, I didn't blow it. Give me a shot to fix the show. I mean,
what are you going to do? How are you going to fix it?
You can't even stay in the room.
You're going to fix this from outside where it's cold?
No shirts, no service.
Artie's sweating. He's wiping sweat off his head. Look at him.
It's all these fucking lights.
All right. Corky, I don't know what to tell you. I gave you a shot.
All right. Well, I don't know what to tell you either.
I mean, did you listen? Did you listen last night to Ronnie's show?
Yeah, I heard the show. It was unbelievable.
Horrible?
Even the guy that called in with the twins, and he was getting rid of his car because he didn't have twins. He had one kid. Ronnie didn't even know what to tell the guy. You know, he wanted to change down for a smaller car.
Hello, I wasn't talking to the guy. The dealers were talking to him. I just answer the calls and I let the panel talk to the people. That's the whole idea.
Sounds like a highlight. Advice to keep the car.
Yeah, so what the fuck you want from me?
Knock her up again, and he's gonna end up having to buy a bigger car. You should have told him to just keep it.
All right, Corky.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for your advice.
You know, it's easy on the sidelines. You had your shot, and you
walked ran out.
You ran out.
Sweating.
So give me another shot.
Come on. Stop already.
Come on, stop already.
Who even knows if Ronnie's going to get another shot?
Well,
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, the show is on the ropes, Corky, because you didn't take the time to fix it.
I brought this Corky in. He tells me he could fix it. And then I put him in there. He runs out. He's all sweaty. I mean, that's some fix. He ran out of there. I go, if you had a problem, go in there and straighten things out. Stop bossing people around. Start making a complaint.
Yell at him.
Well, yell at him.
Get the hell out. I don't like you.
I was out of here.
Corky, you got to use your head. You've broadcast. You had a room full of opportunity.
Well, my mistake. Give me another shot.
Everything bothers you. That's good. Get on the air and let it bother you.
Maybe we could do the show from a Mr. Softy truck. You'll be nice and cool.
Ronnie all over Corky.
Oh, Ronnie at least shows up and does the show. Corky, I don't know. He talks a good game, then he gets in the room and he freaks out and runs out. He's busy in the bathroom every minute.
Yeah.
Wiping himself
Every time
down.
we turned around, he was in the bathroom.
Lights are freaking him out. He was freaking out.
Yeah.
That's what I. That was the word I got.
He couldn't handle it.
He couldn't. He was cracked.
Yeah, definitely. He cracked. Definitely
Get
cracked.
out of here. What are you
You're cracked, man. Admit it. You're fucking cracked. You're cracked, you asshole.
Well, listen to what happened. He goes, "There's lights on. It's a TV camera." He's freaking out.
The spotlights.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable.
I don't think this is for you, Corky.
I was complaining about the air conditioning every morning for years. You were uncomfortable.
But I was there. I was on the air complaining.
You didn't leave.
You should have complained on the air.
That's interesting.
Corky, if they ain't cracking, what is? You're cracked.
Right.
You cracked up. You freaked out. Then why'd you leave?
The guy came, dude. The guy comes with a whole bag of notes. He's got notes. He's got all kinds of shit going on.
Right,
a whole plastic bag with notes in it and crap. I don't know what the hell he had in there. And all of a sudden, he's like, "I'm out of here. I got to get out of this place." Holy shit!
You got to get out of the place. You can't get out of the. He's on the show and he's getting out of the place.
Man,
never heard of anything like that. Then he wants to be on again.
AJ Benza lasted 2 months.
You had your shot.
See you, man. Take care.
All right, Corky.
So long, man.
Take it easy.
Take care.
I remember the old Corky with Cadillac chassis, talking a big game.
I like this Corky. He's got an energy.
He's a phone guy, though.
Yeah,
He's a phone
definitely.
guy.
We should have
He's
had
a
him
caller.
call in on the phone, maybe.
Right.
He's interesting.
And maybe he wouldn't have freaked out.
Why didn't he should have called in last night? Why didn't he call in?
He's got the right temperature and the
Could've
right
called in.
lighting at home.
Jeff, go ahead in Youngstown, Ohio.
Hey, what's up, Howard?
Hey.
Hey, I wanted to see if JD pulled the clip where Ronnie was like fumbling around with the whole used car issue. Like these guys didn't even understand what he was even trying to say. It was weird. Like he said he had a whole agenda of what like he was supposed to talk about.
Did you pull that clip?
There is a clip, used cars. It's probably in the second column in red.
Yeah,
It's great.
I got a little twisted.
It's
All right,
twisted.
I got a little twisted.
All right, let's
it got
listen.
a lot twisted.
Shut the fuck up.
Let's listen to the clip.
What are the advantages of used cars?
The biggest advantage, tell me if you guys agree, is it's already depreciated.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it's already depreciated.
Right, you know,
But,
it's
Ronnie, are you asking how to best buy a used car?
No, what is the advantage of buying a used
the biggest
car
advantage
over a new car?
The biggest advantage is that it's already depreciated.
Yeah.
The same car a year newer, it might be another $5 or $6 grand. $5 or $6 grand in your payment might be another 75.
I got to admit, the show does kind of sound like one of those.
So why is that my fault? These guys can't answer a fucking question.
Well, yeah.
Well,
What's wrong
you
with that?
picked him to do the show, didn't you?
No.
Basically,
no, I didn't.
Who picked him?
I heard that like you get confused when there's production elements. They put that little fancy music stinger behind you, and you freaked out.
No, I didn't.
Right.
No. What are you talking about?
That's the note I got.
He said note.
You're not comfortable with the production.
What are you talking about?
That's what I got.
Go away.
You asked the guy what's the advantage of a used car? He basically said it's used.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's my fault?
No, I'm saying.
The guy is supposed to be a fucking expert in finding used cars for people.
I got to admit, the show kind of sounds like one of those public access shows that they prank, that Sal and Richard prank. You know what I mean? I don't know. So let's see. Anybody else hear Ronnie's show last night? Go ahead, Dave.
Hey, I would love you. Just want to say I drive 90 miles one way from Fredericksburg, Virginia to Fort Meade every day, and if it wasn't for your show, I'd drive my fucking car off a damn bridge.
Well, thanks.
But I listened to Ronnie's show, and the whole reason I listened to it was hoping that Richard or Sal would call in and prank it, but it's like listening to a biased dealer tell you what they want to tell you. They're not going to tell you when the best time to come in and buy a car is. Every day is a good time to buy a car, so... I listened for about a half an hour, and then I did drive my car off the friggin' bridge.
Right.
So,
Well, the guy gave it a shot, Ronnie.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, wow.
Well, that's not the way I wanted to do the show, but whatever.
What were your ideas?
I was going to bring in strippers to talk about cars. Girls that know about cars. I was going to do a whole crazy thing.
Who knows? You know, it's hard. It's hard.
They
to
want to
figure
do car dealers and all that nonsense. You know?
Go ahead, Mark.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey, Ronnie, I want to wish you condolences on that.
Don't even start, man. We went through this last night.
Sleeping. What's going on, brother?
What do you mean, condolences on the show?
Yeah, and then the guy goes. One guy goes. Something about his mother just died of schneck cancer.
Yeah, that was a reference to Miserable Men. You know, obviously you don't pay attention to the channel, you little Eugene.
No, I don't listen to Miserable Men. I'm sorry. I'm asleep at that time.
Yeah, the popular shows. Yeah, those are no good. Right?
Yeah, okay. I didn't say it was no good, asshole. Did I say it was no good? When did I say it was no good? Everybody has a different kind of show here.
Well, JD, what are you going to do? What are you going to do about the show? I mean, I've given you the power over Ronnie's show. You're the only one on the staff who listens to it. What do you think? Can you give us some insight into what you're feeling?
Well, after the last time, I felt bad because I didn't really listen to the whole show. So I definitely took the time to listen to the whole show this time.
All right.
To give a good opinion, and this is gonna shock everyone.
Go ahead.
But the show's still canceled. Sorry, Ron.
Okay.
Ronnie can listen. Ronnie can have like a relationship type show or just something else. Ronnie's not the problem.
He can.
It's the topic, and it's not interesting. And
well, maybe Ronnie wants to change it up. Maybe you want this time slot. Maybe bring in a whole new kind of show.
Maybe.
What do you think?
We have an idea that we've been thinking of. So
what do you got?
Richie Wilson came up with this show. It's called What's Your Problem?
Okay.
And it's like anybody could call in about anything, about the stripper having a problem with her shoes, or a guy having marital problems, whatever, any kind of crazy shit like that.
Maybe not.
And we have a panel of like crazy girls instead of these fucking boring car dealers.
Right.
Why do they have to be girls?
Why not?
You can have a guy.
That's my thing, man.
Because Ronnie wants girls.
Yeah, exactly.
Trust me, I know.
Why would I want...
I heard he talks to the Hemi girl or whatever. I know.
Why would I want...
What was that?
Excuse me?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
I said I know how I hear how he talked to the Hemi girl.
The Hemi girl.
I know he wants a girl.
My co-host.
He has to have a girl.
He likes having girls.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's also he could go to the clubs and say, "Hey, you want to be on my show?" And then it gives him entree into
Yeah, he becomes a big man.
Right.
I could have guys on too. Okay. You could be on.
Well, he's
you have a lot of problems. You might want to participate.
He scores me. He's about meeting girls.
No, Ricky Man, stop
Ricky
that.
Man meeting
Why don't you
guys.
do a show called like Ronnie's Whore Room, like where you,
cool.
I'm being serious.
I'd love to.
Where you just interview chicks who like love to fuck and love to like charge money for.
Let's do it.
Whore stuff.
Let's book some whores.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Maybe go that route.
Yeah.
Maybe sex is your thing.
Who knows?
Want to throw in some cars?
We can throw some car shit in there.
More important than cars.
Yeah, we can throw in some
It's like getting fucked with a carburetor.
Yeah.
Wayne, you're on the... Wayne Siegel, you're
Yeah, come on, Wayne.
All right, listen. When we went in there, we were told, don't talk over one another, don't get it crazy. And Ronnie was trying to keep us all at bay, so we weren't getting nuts with the people who were calling in. But nobody called in and said, the show fucking sucks. People were calling with legitimate questions, and it wasn't an advertisement for any car dealer.
Right.
Oh, so you still want to be on the show? You don't want to be...
Sounds like you've been replaced by a whore.
Hey, Wayne. Hey, Wayne. If we do a horse show, do you still want to be on it?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, Wayne just wants to be on.
Wheels and horse cars and cons vehicles and vaginas, I'm in.
All right. All right.
He's memorized that one.
Before I called in.
All right. Wayne, good luck. Wayne from Legend Porsche Audi Saab.
Yes.
Everything.
Good guy. Right.
Good guy.
Volkswagen.
All right, Wayne Ski.
All right. Bye,
Wayne Siegel, everyone. Co-host with Ronnie on a show that just got canceled. Again. So, JD, you're sticking to your guns on this.
Yes.
You gave him a shot. That's good. I like that you gave Ron a chance. And you still say it's the most boringest show ever.
No more. No more car buying, dealing, whatever. Sorry.
Hey, I'll go with another topic. I don't care.
All right.
That's fine.
Maybe try something next week or whenever you go on again.
Okay.
Get rid of some of those car dealers and get some
Yeah,
whores
exactly.
in
Let's get some whores in there.
maybe you'll have more luck with whores.
Yeah. Sure, JD, because remember the classic story. Seinfeld was only picked up for 4 episodes, and then they found the magic. You don't want to give them 2 more to see if you can find the magic?
I don't know what magic you can get from learning about consumer credit issues.
All right, fine.
He's got a point.
Or,
might not be a good match for the channel.
Or whether a used car, buying a used car is good because it depreciated, whatever. I don't know. I zoned out 90 times during the show.
I'm just trying to get a clearer picture.
Hello?
Yeah, so what do you know about cars?
What you mean?
Yeah, good. Okay, so what about the Camaro?
Yeah, I'm the one that got it. What?
Yeah, it's a piece of shit. It's an XLR. It's a Cadillac. It's built on a fucking Cadillac fucking goddamn platform. It's a Cadillac.
Who are you talking to?
It's a piece of shit. Go look at the Dodge Challenger.
Where you at, motherfucker?
Rick's Cabaret.
Where's that at? Because I'll come right to your ass.
I said the Camaro's a piece of shit.
You a piece of shit.
Wait a minute, dude. You call up here with this whole shit attitude.
Who? You just called me, you dumbass.
Yeah, I'll fuck you, man.
No, fuck you, you Yankee. Wherever you at, I'll beat your fucking ass.
Fuckface.
I'm in Georgia. My name is. Why don't you come find me then, you stupid piece of shit?
What are you getting on my case for?
Hello?
Yeah, how many toy cars do you have on your wall?
Man, who is this and what's your problem? What are you talking about, a fucking Camaro?
No, I didn't say that. Did you hear me say that?
You the one called me cussing said a Camaro was a piece of shit.
I said the Camaro's a piece of shit. That's what I said.
What Camaro?
It's a piece of shit. Go look at the Dodge Challenger.
What in the fuck are you even talking about? I don't give a fuck about no Dodge Challenger.
Yeah, it's a piece of shit. It's an XLR. It's a Cadillac.
What do you mean? You talking about a new Camaro?
Yeah, exactly.
I got an old Camaro, man. I got a '69 Camaro.
This ain't Hot Rod Magazine, pal.
Huh?
You don't know shit, pal. So fuck yourself.
Hello?
What do you care what I drive?
Who are you, motherfucker?
Ernie Irvin.
Where you at with your little pussy ass? I'll beat the brakes off of you if you come to
Vegas, Rick's Cabaret.
Vegas, Rick's Cabaret.
Yeah, exactly.
You must be a fucking faggot.
Yeah, I'll fuck you, man.
Don't call me again, motherfucker. If you call me again, I don't even know what you talking about.
Wow. Oh, wow. You're great, man.
Don't you suck my dick, you son of a bitch. No, yeah, you're a faggot. I take that back.
Fuckface.
I tell you what, come to Thompson and I'll beat your ass. Don't call my phone again.
Dick.
All right, Ronnie taking on some guy.
Some guy from North Carolina.
Yeah. All right, so JD, you approve of Ronnie getting some other kind of show?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, well, I'll put you in charge of that one too.
Okay.
All right.
He doesn't do well with that.
All right, whatever.
All right, thank you, JD. Thanks, Ronnie.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, good luck.
All right.
Good luck with your new show.
Thank you.
All right. Ronnie's going to get some girls on there and
see if that doesn't work.
Yeah, maybe that'll spice things up.
Like when he asks Ronnie who he is, and he goes, Ernie Irvin.
Yeah. Where are you? Rick's Cabaret in Vegas.
It's a Cadillac. The hell are you talking about? What Camaro?
Honey, you don't seem too surprised.
No, I wasn't surprised. I expected it.
You knew this was coming?
Yeah, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, dude. I knew it was coming.
So
as soon as we got off the air last night, I said, "This is it. We're done. We're done."
What's in store for a new show?
I don't know. I got to go back to the drawing board.
Got to think of something.
It's not going to be an auto show. I guarantee that.
JD, you got any suggestions?
No.
For a new show?
No. Do it. No. Just whatever happens, happens. I don't care. I got my own job to worry about. What the hell's that look for, Lisa?
Howard wants you to, keep listening.
I'll listen.
He'll keep listening.
I'll keep listening.
I thought you said you wanted to wash your hands of everything.
He has no choice.
I have no choice now. What am I gonna do?
He's an executive. He has to stay. He's got to wear a suit and tie now too.
Some executive. Not getting paid like one, I'll tell you that.
There he is, Hitler. Why do you
lie to me, man? Why you tell me the show's good when it's not?
Did I lie? When did I lie to you?
They said that you.
They said?
He said.
Did you hear it from me?
He said he got notes last night.
I'll show you the note.
He said he got.
I'll show you the note.
What does the note say?
I'll show you.
Why didn't you come in and say? Why didn't he come in and? Why didn't you come in and say what the note said?
Gary didn't want me in there.
What? No, what do you mean Gary didn't want you in there?
I'll show you the note.
Gary would have loved to have you in there. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Gary would have loved to have you go in there.
You still have a show. It's just going to be different.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot different, believe me. There's not going to be no auto, whatever Butler on there, that's for sure.
Artie pled guilty to his drunk driving charge.
Yeah.
So now he's got to go to driving school.
And I wasn't drunk, I'd like to point out.
Right.
It's on file. But anyway.
So why'd you plead guilty? Oh, you didn't want any hassle. Right.
It was a long story. But
Right.
I part of the sentence, besides 7 months without a license, is I have
7 months.
7 months.
How many months are you into that?
2 months already.
Yeah.
Oh, it's flying by.
Only 5 to go.
Yeah, right.
How do you feel not driving? Have you had any temptations to start driving?
Yeah, you know what? I've lost my license probably a dozen times in my life.
Oh, my God.
And mostly in the first 2 years I had my license, I was a maniac. I had a piece of shit car I bought for $300, and I was like driving through the woods. And I found out where I have to go for the driver stuff.
Where is it?
It's in probably the worst ghetto in New Jersey. Like I'm talking
really?
like.
How are you supposed to get there if you can't drive?
Well, I got to get a driver, and I'm not even sure my guy will go there. Like, I mean, it's that bad. It's a war zone. It's a war zone.
It's
actually in East Orange, which is they call Illtown EO in the rap world.
Right.
It's where I think Queen Latifah and some other rappers from. But it is worse than Newark. It's worse than certain areas in Newark.
You scared to go there?
I'm not scared to go there.
Why did they put the driving school there? Because you really are being punished.
Well, maybe because like if you want to score after driving class.
I mean, it's probably right next to a crack house. But it's not that I'm scared. It's not that I'm scared to go there. It's one more thing that makes it so depressing.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they should put it somewhere safe.
And it's
they're going to force you to go there.
It's a government facility. I mean,
Right.
I guess they have some security, but they.
How many classes do you have to go to?
I thought it was only 12 hours. Apparently, it's 14. It's 2 7-hour days.
Wow.
Right in a row. And they say, bring your own lunch.
What is that, on a weekend?
Like it's going to a school. You know what? It's a Thursday and a Friday.
What time you got to get there?
I might have to leave early here.
But isn't that strange that they would do that to working people?
Can't you get homeschooling?
It sounds like...
Yeah,
I'd love to do that.
I guess if you want your license bad enough, I don't know.
Doesn't it sound like they're fucking with me, Ron?
Someone told me that, like, your road manager drives your Mercedes with you everywhere now. Now, you can't even drive your own Mercedes.
Yeah, he drove
Does that piss the shit out of you? Like, you're like, look at it. He's driving my Mercedes.
Do you tell him what to do?
It really aggravates the fuck out of me. And he drove us up, me, JD, and him. We had, one of my last gigs was in Albany, so we went up to Albany, and we're driving back. And thank God for this show, brother, because he was doing, my manager was doing like 87 and a 55. Because I said, we're not staying in Albany. We're doing a gig. We're getting a check and getting the fuck out of it. It's like the Jesse James and Dick joke. Boom, 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 we're gone.
Right.
And the trooper came over, and thank God he was doing 87 and a 55. Thank God he was a fan.
Wow.
he let us off, so thank you.
Yeah.
But
you don't need that.
Yeah, he's driving my car. He's driving my car, and I broke my ass working for it.
Because that Mercedes, you like driving that.
He loves it.
Yeah.
I love it. I feel like a big, fat, fucking
successful
cigar
guy.
smoking jerk off.
Right. Now you know how Rush Limbaugh feels.
That's what I feel like. I feel like a jerk off like Rush Limbaugh.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm driving my Mercedes.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Artie, good luck with driving class.
I'll when it happens, I'll let you know.
What happens in driving class? Because you clearly know how to drive. I mean,
well, this happened to me before.
So you've been to these classes?
Oh yeah. And
doesn't seem to help.
Yeah. How many times?
The last time I lost my license was 15 years ago. But
so you forgot it.
I knew Artie was upset that his road manager was driving his Mercedes with Artie in it, because on that day Artie ate like McDonald's twice in 3 hours, and I got 10 different reports about it.
You have no idea.
You made him pull over twice?
I ate so, I'm not drinking on the road now, so I'm compensating with either smoking cigarettes constantly,
right,
or and we were with JD, who loves McDonald's.
Right.
Okay, it's a 2.5-hour trip to Albany.
Yeah.
We first of all, I ate some at my house. My
Because in
mother.
2.5 hours you could go without eating.
Well, yeah,
Right.
But it's like, of course, I had a little sausage and peppers that my mother left over before we left.
Right.
Okay, so we go to a McDonald's. It's just almost for something to do. I'm like, stop! I gotta eat something. We'll just eat something.
Right.
So I got a number 3, which is a double quarter pounder with cheese, large fry, large Coke. And then a quarter pounder with cheese.
I thought you were off Coke.
Get out of here.
And a quarter pounder with cheese.
Yeah, and a quarter pounder.
I thought you were
with
off
cheese.
Coke, though. I thought you.
I cut down 90% of my Coca-Cola
That's
intake.
good.
But when I go to McDonald's on the road, it's just like that's the other thing about the road. It's like everything's unhealthy. Like you have a Twix bar for lunch.
Right.
And so then
He's forcing him now.
like another hour.
There's no grocery stores in these places.
Another hour into
You're
it.
gonna get gout.
How do I not have the gout?
I don't know.
And by the way, if I go to the doctor and he says I have throat cancer, would it be that surprising?
No.
I mean, so
You're so
I'm
unhealthy.
just really fucking whatever. So, we need gas then. So, and we're 20 minutes from the gig, and there's going to be food at the gig, and we timed it to where we're getting there almost just in time. It's perfect. And I'm like, fuck it, I saw a Big Mac, and I had like a Big Mac attack.
Another one.
After
all the quarter pounders.
I had a
and
number
everything.
1. I had the Big Mac with the large fry and the large Coke
Again?
Yeah.
3 hours later.
Right.
That's
So now
about a pound of beef.
So now the front seat of my car looks like it did in high school, which the front seat of my Mercedes that someone else is driving.
Right.
It looks like a McDonald's blew up in it. And now I get off. Now I got to go stand up. I'm bloated. I'm like this.
So are you putting weight back on?
I probably put a couple pounds back on. But
you know who's enormous? You know who's enormous now?
Who?
Oprah. You watched that show lately?
Yeah, she got big.
She's enormous.
That's why I asked you who's on the cover of the magazine.
Yeah, it's great because that Oprah magazine, she's as skinny as me.
Yeah, she still has a waistline and everything.
Howard, you know what's funny? You go to the Sirius website, they have a picture of her. Her body looks like the woman allegedly fucking Tiger Woods.
I know. I saw that. But with me, it was like I always got heavy, but that Subutex shit, getting off of that puts weight on you.
Right.
I never got close to 300, but but it wasn't over yet. So we go there, and at the gig, they got stuff backstage. I pick at that the whole time. We wait around, get the check, usual bullshit with that. Get the check, we leave. Now we're on the road again, and we get home, and I had to have a slice of pizza for some reason. I'm like, I don't know. So
it's the worst stuff you're eating.
It's 2:30 in the morning, and I know there's one pizzeria open in Hoboken. Pizzeria.
Yeah.
Get it right, will you?
But the one pizzeria, they have manhole covers. We call them manhole covers because the pizza's so big, those huge things. Benny Tadino's.
Yeah.
So I walk in at Benny Tadino's, where of course everybody knows me. I walk in and I get 3 slices.
Enormous slices.
Enormous slices of the manhole cover, and another large Coke.
Wow.
And you can ask JD when I got out of my own car to let my road manager park it for me, I had trouble getting out of the car.
Are you farting a lot too and everything, like constantly? You don't seem like you fart
no,
that much.
I don't. I'm not that kind of guy.
No, that's kind of classy of you.
I'm sorry. It's not by choice. I don't.
Maybe you're all backed up.
I marvel at people who have controls over their fart. Like my Uncle Tommy is like we could almost come in here and be a farter for us.
Right.
And they're really smooth, crisp.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous of people.
You can't even fart.
Like I don't have that kind of
But that's
control.
good, though.
Like shit my pants or something. But
And you're still with the girlfriend, right?
Oh yeah.
And what does she think of all this eating?
Is she on the road with you eating like this?
She's one of those women who like she's a size 0, paper thin.
She's
and
weighs nothing.
She weighs nothing, and we go out and she has a steak, and she's like what you were talking about before,
right?
Hardly exercises, that type of thing.
Right. So when you say steak, you mean she doesn't even eat that healthy?
No, not at all. Gummy bears, steak.
Hate that.
Yeah,
it
and
really
I'm telling
is.
you, I saw
What
her
happened? Did Richard
at the
go-
concert. She's
beautiful.
Oh my God, she's not only beautiful, but there's hardly any of her there.
Did Richard go to the doctor to
He
find out?
went to Gary's foot doctor.
He looked better today, Howard.
And he has on his shoes. He's not in pain. He's
Does he have
walking
gout?
better. He does, and the doctor had to shoot something into his big toe.
He's walking a million times better now.
Yeah.
But
So you do have gout. You diagnosed it properly because somebody sent me an email saying Richard better get to a doctor because He could even have a blood clot in his foot. You don't know.
They'll cut the foot off you, man.
That's what I was worried about, a blood clot. And they even did x-rays to see if anything was sprained or broke. But it was gout. Just from my diet lately and a little too much drinking and stuff.
So what did the doctor say for you to do?
Well, she gave me a shot in my foot, which I don't know if you've ever had a needle in your foot. But
No, that wouldn't bother me, though.
Oh my! Well, that's what I thought too until it happened.
You're a baby.
But no, I was a man. I didn't cry or nothing.
All right, good.
So she gave me a shot, gave me some pills to take, and
What are they, antibiotics or something?
something like that. Yeah.
He doesn't ask.
Yeah, he doesn't
I don't
even
know.
know
I
what
just
they
take
are.
them.
Like, what are you getting?
I just like to take pills. I don't ask what they are.
The only thing I know about these pills is I can't drink for a week. So
wow,
that's the only drawback.
Why can't they give me a pill so I can keep drinking?
Is there a drinking is good for you pill?
So, don't you realize you're going to have to change your lifestyle if you're going to get rid of this gout?
Yeah.
Can't drink anymore, you know.
Me and you, Rich, we'll do it together.
All right.
What did you like? I mean, this is a temporary fix. The shot only kills the pain for a little while, right?
And then the pills are
No,
supposed to help
they kind of break up. What gout is it's these little crystallized things that are poking you, I guess, your blood vessels and your feet, and this kind of breaks it up so you pee it all out.
Perfect.
So, and I did.
Now you can drink more and eat in a week. Don't you think you're going to have to like get a grip on your lifestyle?
Yeah, but you know it's hard. Like we have your party coming up. We have other Christmas parties, and it's the holidays.
So you'd rather not walk or possibly lose your foot?
Well, I'll do a wheelchair to go to Howard's party.
You're going to have to drink at my party, right?
I have to, of course.
Throwing a big staff party to thank everyone for their hard work.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, thank you.
Will you tell us when it is?
Yeah, in fact, Beth's sending out an email. I said, honey, we got to, she said she was going to invite everyone. You know, we have a list. So I said, hon, everyone's asking me when it is and where it is. And they got, you know, so she's just going to, she said, she's just going to, she wanted to do a whole card thing, but it's just, we've just been so crazed with this apartment stuff. So she's going to just email everyone today. So. I don't know.
Yeah,
so you'll probably get it this morning.
I got my invite last
you did?
night.
Okay. All right, so it's probably in your email now.
The place looks really nice.
Yeah, it is a nice place.
Oh, it's too nice for you.
I know.
Too nice for you.
Yeah, maybe you should stay home.
Any place is too nice for you.
Your gout.
I have a question, though.
Open bar. And, like, I fixed I fixed the price per person with everyone, you know, so...
Wow, that's really
I don't think the guy who owns the restaurant realized Richard's coming. So
yeah, because he's going to lose money.
Do you have 14 bottles of champagne?
That's generous, open bar,
Do
man.
you have a
I've been to weddings that have that open bar.
Now, listen, I'm not gonna invite people.
Yeah, but I mean, when you got Richard and a couple of other guys who are on this staff with an open bar,
it's
yeah, can I just get the champagne a bottle at a time instead of those little glasses?
That's what I'm saying.
You and Robin throw class shit.
Yeah.
You never have a bad time at some you or Robin throw.
No, this will be good.
Yeah, thank you for doing this.
It's a great restaurant.
Yeah, I can't wait to not walk again.
Yeah, you'll probably be laid up right after the party.
Yeah, you're not going to restrain yourself at the party at all, are you?
I will, because I know you guys will be watching me.
No, I don't mean because of that. I mean because of your gout.
Oh no!
That would never
I mean, I think we have the next day off. So,
Artie, do you ever go in your mind like, it's not fair? How come Richard can drink and I can't?
Well,
he really can't.
Listen, I mean, Richard eventually is gonna, maybe wake up one day and go, I gotta stop drinking because it's affecting my life in a negative way.
Yeah, you're discounting the gout, wetting himself, all of the crazy things, throwing up. He's having a miserable time and he doesn't know it.
It's hard though. Drinking is so much fun.
I don't miss.
Can't you just have a few drinks?
No, he can't.
I can. A lot of I'll go out sometimes, have a couple glasses of wine, and that's
but you have those enormous margarita sombrero hat glasses. I saw you with one time.
Sal, it says here, Sal says he did not get an invite. He's upset. No, Sal, you're invited. I don't know why you didn't get an email.
It's on its way.
Yeah, they're probably sending them out separately. But I have a question about my invite too.
What?
It says holiday attire.
Right.
Does that mean like we wear Christmas sweaters and stuff?
No, I don't know what that means. Beth put that on there. It means have fun.
I have to bring a tire?
No, I don't mind. I actually have this Christmas vest that I bought at Walmart.
I'm going to dress in an actual tire.
Yeah, bring in Christmas attire.
It comes in a tire.
In a tire.
I want to wear a radio for a tuxedo.
Why don't you dress as a Christmas tree?
You're telling me that this guy knows how to do. He packed booze to get on a train.
Gary says to me, he goes, Wolf, well, what the hell did Gary say? He goes, so I want to know, can we discuss on the air whether we're going to have Secret Santa? So I said, Gary, I'm out of that. I'm getting everyone a gift. I'm going to throw this enormous party. What do I have to do with that? Well, someone's got to make a decision. If the rest of us are doing Secret Santa, I go, well, go have a meeting about it. What do you want me to decide for?
Because you created it.
So what?
But he's out of it.
I'm out of it.
All right.
So what do you mean?
Yeah, but you sort of left us all in the dust.
All right, I'll tell you. I'm going to pick a person to decide whether you guys should have Secret Santa. Are you willing to abide by that?
Yeah. Robin?
I don't know who he's picking.
As long as it's not Scott DePace.
Well, that's who it is, Scott DePace.
No, because you know what he's going to pick.
He's going to say no. He wants individual.
No, I want my bounty.
Well, you got to pick one person who's going to make the decision. I made the decision.
No, we voted already. I don't know why there's still a question.
Right.
Everybody seems to be up. Everybody comes to me.
Yeah.
And they go, well, Howard's not doing it, or are we doing it? And Howard said, I'm not involved. And everyone's like, well, is it still happening? So if you want to pick one person, make a decision. And if you want it to be me, I'll make the decision.
Go ahead.
We're doing it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Fine. So
I think it's a good idea.
second the motion.
Howard's throwing his nice
Right.
thing, and we'll.
So everybody's name but Howard, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right, we're good then. See, that was simple.
There you go. You're done. What?
Boo, that's no good.
Nobody asked you. It was Gary's decision.
Scott, I was going to let you decide. They won't let
Fuck you.
That bit was for the air. Now that you're not involved, it's not funny for the air anymore.
There's no bit.
Fuck you.
Nothing
No, he's
funny
right. Wait,
about it.
he's right.
No,
Part of it is a bit. Part of it wasn't.
It was not a bit. It was just like, it's ridiculous already trying to get everyone gifts. There's too many people that work now here, and everyone should just do a Secret Santa.
But it did become a bit of
Right. But it became fun.
Because it would be like you would have to buy for an intern, or an intern would buy wind chimes for Robin.
Well, the perfect thing happened the first year to make it funny. Absolutely, Robin got Howard, and Howard got an intern,
and Robin got wind chimes.
That's right.
I mean,
I've gotten ripped off each year.
Oh.
All right, guys, you guys do your thing. Awesome. Harry says there's Secret Santa. He made the decision. That's the end of it.
Well, Richard, it turns out that you do indeed have the gout. But
yes, it's confirmed.
You're feeling better, though?
Much better. I really have to thank Gary's foot doctor, Dr. Satara. She was awesome. She gave me a shot in my foot, which kind of numbed it for a little bit, made it feel better. Gave me some medication that I'm taking now that unfortunately I can't drink for a week. But
yeah, that seems like it's going to be an issue.
Well, luckily my schedule worked out great because I'm busy filming a movie on Long Island this weekend, so I won't be drinking this weekend anyway. So if this medication was going to happen the week of Christmas, there's no way. I'd be like, what, no eggnog, no Glühwein, no apple cider and rum. I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd have to suffer through the gout. But my scheduling worked out. She was such an awesome doctor, and I got to thank her. And yeah, I'm feeling much better. I got a slight limp still, but it's insane. Just in one day, it feels like so much better.
Now, are you going to cut back on the drinking or the foods that you've been eating? Because that caused it, right?
Let me ask you, what do you think?
No, and it didn't sound like it when you were talking to Howard either.
Well, my diet, I was researching on the internet last night, and I'm going to start eating a lot more celery and peanut butter. They say that that's good for you and it fills you up with a small amount. So I'm going to try that. I do try to be a little healthy. Sal and I go to Hale and Arty, get a salad every day, real healthy salad. And I eat lean pockets at night during the week. It's just the weekends that kill me. I go nuts on the weekends because, my girlfriend and I love to go to brunch, and we love to eat dinner somewhere at night, and I just love steak and burgers, and I go nuts, and pizza. So I got to control myself a little bit more on the weekends. Maybe I'll get chicken pizza instead of pepperoni. It's the little things that count. And maybe I'll have 25 mimosas instead of 27 at brunch. So I'll cut back as much as I can while still having a great time here in the greatest city in the world, New York City.
All right, man. Good luck.
Thanks, brother. Keep it metal.
Hey, Howie Mandel here. I'm on the Howard Stern Show today, and I'm now an author. I'm going to promote my book, Here's the Deal, Don't Touch Me. Well, I'm going to talk to Howard, and then hopefully some listeners buy my book. Or you wouldn't be a listener if you're watching this, you're a viewer. But you listen too. So it's a book. Is this closed captions, Howard TV? Closed caption for the hearing impaired?
It's not.
It's not?
No.
Oh. I am on Howard Stern, a book. I did a book. I want to talk about the book.
Howie Mandel's here, one of my favorite people. Love when he comes on the show. Very open guy. Just wrote a book all about his OCD. Obsessive. He wrote a book about it.
He's teaching people how to be OCD.
He's teaching people how to have OCD.
How to.
He's been very successful.
How
from
to.
it. You know, it's a funny thing. I was in a meeting last night, and you were the focus of the meeting, actually. I was sitting with some high-level television executives who have said to me, you know, you really should be on television doing some sort of game show. And I said, you know, that fucker Howie Mandel, I said, he's got it right. So he probably goes in there, day or two a week, making $15, $16, I don't know, $1 million a year doing this thing.
Right.
Bangs it out.
I said, that's my hero. I said, that's my hero, Howie Mandel.
We actually did. We moved to Connecticut. You know, we were in Waterford, Connecticut. In 20 days, I did 130 episodes.
Wow.
That's what I want.
And you're done.
I want a show where I don't have to work. That's what I want.
People always say it's so great.
Howie, it's easy, right?
It is easy. But people think it's greater than it is. Can I tell you a quick story about people thinking it's greater than it is?
Right.
You know, we're shooting in Connecticut, and after taping, I was playing at the Mohegan Sun. You know, I do stand-up. So
but by the way, you're shooting in Connecticut.
Right.
That's where that all takes place. Is that because you
taxes? No, because the economy, it's cheaper than L.A. So I went there, and I'm playing at the Mohegan Sun. I'm doing comedy there. So I said to the crew and the models, I said, you know, come to the show, and then we'll all go out. We'll have dinner afterwards. So I'm doing my show, and in the middle of my show, Stephen Baldwin.
Yeah.
He's in the audience. He kind of makes himself known.
He shouts out in the middle of the show?
No, he was there with Tony Orlando and Don. I have no idea why they're all back together.
Maybe they're
again.
all religious.
You know, probably. I don't know.
Right.
But anyway, I see him, and then he comes backstage after, and and I said, you know, you can hang out. We're going to go into the club. We rented the whole place for dinner with the crew, and so he goes, he said the exact same thing. This Deal or No Deal thing. It's great. And did you bring everybody from L.A.? You know, like the models here or whatever. You know, and I said, you know, it's funny. You should. This model right here this is a model. Now let me backtrack.
Right.
Like your show, you kind of shit happens.
Right.
And on our show, he is known. I guess I could say this. He's known as the vagina whisperer.
What does that mean?
Well, he started with somebody on the show. He's got apparently a silver tongue. You know, he just and
he was having an affair with one of the women.
I don't know if he was having an affair, but he was servicing.
Right, and he knows how to talk to a woman's vagina.
I don't know if there was a lot of talking, but there might have been like humming and moving, and you know.
He knows how to make a woman.
But amongst the ladies, he got a reputation. One woman spoke to another woman, and then I'll be honest, one of their models heard this.
Yes.
And she said, I gotta.
I want to talk to the vagina.
I want to know.
I got to talk to the vagina whisperer.
Right.
Okay.
I want some FaceTime.
Right.
You know, with the so she does that, and apparently it was
fantastic.
It was fantastic.
Right.
But and many nights over and over again, we would hear there was a great story in the morning. I couldn't wait to come to work, and we would hear about it. And, and the hotel was complaining that the bedboard was broken. And you know, and so she confides and says, you know, I feel bad. This guy is servicing me every night, and I'm not giving back. And tonight, she tells, I'm going to give back. I'm going to tip your server.
He was strictly licking her.
Yes.
And she didn't return the favor by licking him or giving him sex. It was strictly he would just go there
and service her.
Wow.
Amazing, right?
That's amazing.
It is amazing. Okay, so she says, I'm going to service him back. And she says that her only trepidation is that this would be the first time she ever sucked white dick.
Oh.
She tells.
All right.
This
Go
is
ahead.
and
she
it's very.
confides that in you.
Yeah, you know,
I don't
your
know if
job
the word
is
confide.
Your job is not easy. I take
No,
it
it
all back.
isn't. It isn't easy.
Yeah.
And it was. I thought it was kind of funny that she was so open and confiding. And I go, "What are you going to do tonight?" She goes, "Well, tonight, for the first time, I'm going to suck some white dick." And everybody who came on the set that day, I said, meet. I don't know if I should say her name, but anyway, I can give you her number.
Right.
But I actually have the phone that we should call her.
I would love to speak with her.
We will.
Yes.
Okay.
But
You know
go
what,
ahead.
Rich? If you're in the green room, give Gary the phone number. We should wake her up because
Now, this is one of the girls who holds the suitcase.
you know what? If she wants to tell you her name and her number, she is known. She is on the show.
But it's a model.
It is a model.
Model. Wow.
Now back to so she's saying everybody passes. That was my thing for the day. I'd say meet so and so. Tell them what you're going to do tonight. She goes, well, tonight I might be sucking some white dick.
You're like a big family. I didn't realize you're this close
That's a
to
family.
everyone.
That's what families talk about. That's
I
what
can't
family.
believe you're not banging any of these models. But
well,
go
here's
ahead.
the thing.
All
So
right.
Stephen Baldwin comes backstage with Tony Orlando and Don and this was like that day.
Right. Okay.
And he goes, everybody, the whole crew came out from L.A., and I go, yeah. He goes, even the models are here. I go, lo and behold, this girl you're standing, this is one of the models.
Right.
And he goes, wow. And I go, tell him what you're going to do tonight. She goes, tonight I'm sucking white dick. And he looks at me and he goes, you have the best fucking job.
You do.
And he turned around and he left. And I just want to make it clear, it wasn't me.
All right.
I was not the white dick.
But it doesn't matter. You are surrounded by people who are exciting and sexual. These models that you work with on Deal or No Deal are exceptional beauties. I mean, they're temptresses. I mean, they're gorgeous.
It's amazing.
I'm shocked by how many hot chicks are into just standing there with a suitcase. It's just amazing.
They're thrilled.
And some of them have broken out. Like they have a fan club and they have a whole thing. I mean,
they have websites. And
guys ride them.
And guys ride them?
Write them.
Oh, and ride.
And ride them.
And ride them.
Right.
But do we have, did Rich, do you have communication? Did he get her number? We should wake her up.
We got a number, called, and all I got was voicemail, Howie.
She's probably sleeping.
I left the number.
Well, did she suck his white dick?
Yeah.
Oh, so how'd it go? Are they falling in love?
I don't know. I wasn't trying to get the information.
He must be some stud because this girl's probably extremely good looking. You would think he'd stop the party right there.
Well, no, I don't know if he's a stud as much as he's. I think women are like me. I don't know. I can't speak for you, but if you heard that there was if there was some chick that gave great blowjobs, you would partake.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't, but I mean, you would. So if you heard there was a guy with a silver tongue, you would not.
No, Robin's a classy lady.
You would not.
She just does anal in bathrooms with strangers. But that's a different story.
See, I would think that a woman would think that was an asset.
There could be women who do, but I wouldn't.
The whole new book is about your OCD.
Well, here's the thing. The book starts, and it starts with you.
Yes.
Do you know that?
That's what I wanted to bring up.
The book is called Here's the Deal, Don't Touch Me. And about 11 years ago, and this is not, I set out to do an autobiography because I've been in the business for 30 years. I thought I had a bunch of funny stories to tell.
You're an amazing comedian.
I'm an amazing comedian.
No, you really are. You really are quite good.
And I've done a lot of funny things. But, I am, in my life, I have been tortured.
By OCD. And I didn't realize how young you were when it started.
My whole life.
Your whole life.
I can't remember not.
You can't remember not having these rituals.
Wow. It's not only rituals, and yes, and I was ridiculed as a kid. I talk about it in the book. As a little kid, when my shoelaces got untied, I couldn't retie them because they had touched the ground. So people thought I couldn't tie my shoes, and then I'd walk, and they'd make fun of me, and then I'd have to walk to keep my shoes on. I'd walk like Quasimodo just to try to keep.
You couldn't tie your shoes. You were afraid of the germs that were picked up off the ground. On the
Did you have new shoelaces
and I had
every
rituals.
day?
And you I'd say to my mom, I can't tie my shoes. Could you tie my shoes? They're like, nobody really understood.
Right.
Did you confess to your mother that you had this fear of germs? That's why you couldn't tie your shoes?
They knew that.
They knew.
Everybody knew that. My brother we used to physically fight, and he could stop the fight by lifting the laundry hamper, and just hold it up. I'd scream like a little girl, and I'd be gone.
You know what's funny? Because with my OCD, I could conceal it. In other words, no one ever knew I had it.
But do you really have OCD, or do you have
I'm controlling it. I've learned to control it, but I have it.
But OCD...
I mean, to the point where I couldn't read a book because I had to sit there and tap the corner like 500 times before I could actually read the page.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. I mean,
so
it was
how
bad.
do you control it?
I started to tell you, but you didn't make the connection.
No, I read the Dr. Sarno.
Yeah, but you've got to take another leap there. Even Dr. Sarno was shocked that I got rid of my OCD through his methods.
If you really had the cure, Howard, you could, as much as you make doing this, I don't believe you have the cure.
I do.
Do you know how medicated I am? Do you know how many times I go to a psychiatrist?
I go to a psychiatrist too, but the fact...
So does your psychiatrist say you're cured?
I did this without the psychiatrist. No, sometimes it gets bad and it starts to come back.
Oh, but that's the point. It's not cured. It's ebbs and flows. I have times when, to be totally honest with you, I could shake somebody's hand. I'm just afraid to trigger it. If I trigger it, that could be the end of the day.
I don't want to sound simplistic, but it's probably as simple as you just giving it up. Like just stopping.
Giving it up. You know how many fucking meetings I go to?
Take the rituals and throw them out the window.
I mean, whether it's a therapist or a psychiatrist or I'm taking medication.
Howie.
Giving it up.
Go take your hand and rub it all over that door handle. Just do it. Just do it.
Stick your hand in the toilet.
And say, fuck it. So I'm going to die. Who gives a shit? I started to understand what the anxiety. I got behind the anxiety.
No, but the point is, I understand that I'm not going to die. I understand. That's what fucks you up because intellectually it makes no sense.
I know.
And you go, I'm a fucking mental case.
Just do it. And then you start getting used to breaking the rituals. And then it becomes a whole game.
I try. You don't. I've sat in meetings and they've made me shake people's hands or just hold somebody's hand in a meeting.
Right.
I've done that.
Listen to how bad Howie has it, and he has it worse than I ever did.
I know he does, yeah.
Howie used so much Purell, which by the way, here's my Purell. I keep it here every time.
I'm not allowed to use it.
I know, and I'll tell you why. Listen to this.
He's not allowed to use it?
He's not allowed to use it.
No.
Howie used, this freaked me out because it's given me some thoughts. Howie used so much Purell that he destroyed all of his hands' antibodies.
Right.
Wow.
He started getting warts on his hands because his immune system wasn't strong enough to fight common viruses. Now, that makes sense to me.
So if I touched anything, I started getting warts.
Yeah.
It freaked me out, So
right.
it's not good I understand that germs are good for me.
Right.
But I can't.
You can't wrap your head around touching stuff.
I can't.
So
I'm actually.
Does that give you pause, Howard? Because I see you grabbing that Purell.
I only use the
time.
Purell after someone comes in here and shakes my hand.
That's still a lot of antibiotics
you have a lot
going
of power.
on your hands.
Why do we have to shake hands? Why can't we just abolish that?
Agreed. I mean, I'm going to this power fist thing, but everyone looks like you're a fucking hump if you sit there and power fist everyone.
Well, it's not even. I don't even want to. Why do you have to touch somebody?
You
why
don't
isn't
want
bow like the Japanese do, or something.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. I love it. Look, I haven't seen you in a while. I love it. You have the best job. I don't know if people know that you're in a hermetically sealed case.
Yeah,
I love that.
By the way, why the thumb ring? Why are you now wearing a thumb ring? I think that's a little fay. It's kind of gay. You're a straight guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Why are you wearing a thumb ring?
I never even thought about that. It's just that I bought it, and it's
It's
gay.
a girly thing.
Really?
Thumb ring, yeah. Guys don't wear a thumb ring. How many guys wear a thumb ring?
He's breaking the mold.
I don't count. That's.
I wear a ring. It's on my finger.
That's a wedding ring, right?
No, it's just a ring.
Why are you wearing a ring?
Because I think it looks good. It makes my hands attractive.
Why are you wearing jewelry? And that's not fake.
Yeah, well, that is. I guess in a way you could say everything
because
is.
it looks attractive.
Well,
I'm wearing a thumb ring. I'm not wearing any. Well, I'm wearing this. This is this my wife got me from an infomercial. This is for arthritis.
You've got arthritis now too?
I don't know, but I won't get it.
He's nuts. I notice your thumb ring, though. It sticks out a little too much.
It's a large thumb ring.
And even this jewelry you're wearing around your neck, I wear jewelry around my neck, but yours is outside the turtleneck.
Right.
What are you doing?
It's not right.
Really?
You should hide that. It's not good. It's not right. It's not fun. It's not funny. No. I mean, seriously, am I right, Robin? He doesn't need that. That's women.
Who is he? Myrtle?
No.
Know, older women do that.
Yeah,
it's like a brooch.
Howie's making
a brooch.
Howie's making a lot of money. He's buying too much jewelry.
Jewelry. Do you know what this is?
What
you
is
see
that?
what this is? Look what this is. It's a marble.
Oh, it's a marble.
It's a marble.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and apparently it's made out of quartz, and I get energy.
Oh my God!
You poor bastard!
You're too funny.
You're so tortured. I'll tell you how tortured Howie Mandel is. You got to hear this one. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And this is all chronicled in the new book. And by the way, Here's the Deal is the book. Here's the Deal. Don't touch me. It's in stores now. And I should mention Howie will be signing copies of his book tonight.
Oh.
Is that going to be torture for you?
Oh, you have no idea.
Now,
what
by
are the
way,
chances that I would come up? You signed thousands.
Thousands. And I've got the same thing you got.
But you didn't release it in the midst of H1N1.
Right.
The first time there's a world pandemic.
There's always something.
This is like a fucking joke on me.
I sat there. I shook everyone's hand. I sat there and I signed. And you know how I got through
I wore
it?
a mask and gloves yesterday. I did a signing yesterday.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Oh, my God.
Yes, I did. And they said, please take it off. It's a little...
yeah, it's a little putting off your fans.
I did take it off. I did take it off. But we should, you know,
Listen to me. I sat there and I said, you know what? Today I'm going to embrace what it is I'm doing. What's the worst thing that happens? So I'll get the flu. I'll get the flu. What am I going to do?
Then you don't have OCD. If you can do that.
I got to push through it. I've got it. But I push through it.
If I could push through it.
You could do it.
Based on what?
Based on my experience.
But you don't know how it is for him.
I know how it is.
There are milder cases of everything. You know,
the truth of the matter is, and because I'm in the forum of comedy, people don't realize how rough it is. You know, they don't realize it's really. I am this close, and I've said this many times.
To a nervous breakdown.
Sometimes I can lock myself away.
What you're having is a male nervous breakdown.
I think sometimes Artie, they take what you go through as lighter than it is because you talk about it. But it's
yeah, no, absolutely. I'm way fucked up.
No, but then I would imagine many people approach you and think, "Oh, you could deal. Just don't do the drugs."
No, exactly. Yeah.
Howie, I've got it as bad as you do. If I told you I got from
so what'd you tell him? What'd you tell Artie? Just don't do drugs.
Oh, I told Artie he's going to be fired if he doesn't get his shit together. And snap right out.
And you think that'll snap him right out of it?
Of course. No, I would never say that to Artie. But here's the thing. You can't say anything to Artie.
I love how Howard gets competitive with OCD. He's got to have it as bad as you.
No, I'm trying to help Howie. I've got it.
He's competitive, or I am.
Howie,
he is.
I have to sit and read newspapers and magazines in order to be in touch, have things to talk about, and do prep for the show.
I get that.
I had to sit there and tap and do rituals, and it took me over an hour to get just even dressed in the morning.
Did you go to therapy for it?
No.
So you just said,
I went to Dr. Sarno for back pain. It was all tied into the same thing, all my anxieties, everything. And the reason I had back pain is because the OCD was driving me nuts. And I never acknowledged the OCD, even to myself. I just kept pushing it away. And then when I acknowledged it and said how unhappy I was, my back pain went away, and I eased up on the OCD.
I'm telling you how unhappy I am.
I was unhappy.
So
I'm unhappy, too.
I'm not acknowledging it. There's a book there.
All right, now listen to me. This is how bad Howie has his OCD.
Right.
Listen to this one. This is wild. This is you got me topped on this one. Howie built a second home in his backyard to escape his family's germs.
Yeah.
What?
He's the only one allowed in the house.
No, when they're sick.
It's like a quarantine area for you.
But that was another house. That was the house before this, and that's when I wrote the book. Now I've got a bigger house, so I move into another part of the house. But just let's get away from germs. Why is that crazy?
Why is it crazy to build a second home and be away from your family?
Second home. I built it was what's that? It had a little kitchen and a bedroom.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
I mean, it is. It's
come on,
it's not
Howie.
crazy. It's a horrible, horrible existence. As successful
actually
as
is.
it is. It's a torture chamber.
I am tortured.
You've got to get this under control.
I'm telling you, I'm trying.
Did you ever figure out what was behind it?
They think it's physiological. They think it's from strep.
It's not.
Why do you have all the fucking answers?
Because I told you I got rid of it.
Why are you going to a psychiatrist?
I got a whole bunch of other problems
That
I
you
can't get rid
of.
No, I'm working on getting rid of. I got other problems.
So you need help with that. OCD, you're the master of.
I have a lot of anger.
Yeah, you should have a psychiatrist call in. I'm telling you, you're out of. Well, I have a lot of anger.
No psychiatrist believes it. Now, I have a lot of anger, and the thing is, even recently,
angry.
I went to the psychiatrist. He calmed me down, and you know why? Well, I'm not going to get into it. Let me stick with your thing.
Okay. But
Howie got so skeeved
I'd rather
out.
hear how I get calmed down.
You know what I like about your book?
As much as I want to sell books, I want to hear how to
calm down.
I can do a how I got cured by Howard. Howard cures Howard.
Well, in a way, I got to figure out a way to convey this information to you. I haven't figured out how to explain it really.
I'm not an idiot. I understand.
No, I don't. I don't have the ability to communicate what I did properly because even.
But you said it still comes back.
Sure, it's there. It's always going to be there, but I'm able to control it.
Are you on medication?
No, 0 medication.
Really?
Will not take medication.
You will not take medication.
No, absolutely.
Why? Are you
not.
afraid you'll lose your edge?
No. Well, I don't want to be on medication.
Because of his OCD, he can't take medication.
My OCD won't allow me to. But if I touch this 50 times, I could take medication. Howie admitted something here that I think is very brave.
What did he say?
Howie gets skeeved out from touching his own children's hands.
Oh.
Now, that's heartbreaking.
Well, when you said he moved into the other house, it was pretty much saying he can't even stand his family.
Right. Well, I'll tell you the truth.
They get it.
Well, it's nice that you admit that because even with my kids, when my kids go to hold my hand, the OCD kicks in.
Yeah.
And then I go, these are my kids.
But it makes no sense. You know, it's hand to hand. I can have kids. I can have sex.
Right.
Because
those are
do
the
whatever.
things you want.
I can touch anything else.
Right.
Well, you know what? When just talking about it, when Howard used to first try to tell me he had OCD, I said it was impossible. And he said, why don't you believe me? And I said, because girls come in here every day.
Oh, that's different.
And you touch them.
Oh, there was no germs there. It's funny how it works.
I'm not afraid of that.
You know, when I was
But I get that.
When I started out in radio, I firmly believe one of the reasons I ended up not being a disc jockey who plays records.
Right.
Playing records was so difficult for me. I had to only touch the outside of the record. I had rituals with the records and to put them away. I couldn't put them away during the show because it would take forever.
So when you say I couldn't handle this, you literally couldn't handle it.
I couldn't handle it. That's right. Everything freaked me out. And so my studio, Fred will attest to this, in Hartford when I was a music DJ, he would help me put away my records. I didn't tell him I had OCD. I just looked like a big slug.
I just figured you were so busy with the show
but
that
the records,
you didn't have time for
the
it.
records were all over the floor, and I'd start rolling my chair over the records. You can't do that at a radio station.
Right.
And then I had to position them a certain way, touch them, put the albums back a certain way, touch my pinky over the thing. It was so bad. So if I tell you I had it,
no, okay, so now I'll believe you had it, because that drives me crazy, because people come up to me all the time, I got a little bit of that.
No, I'm not talking about I won't step on a crack.
But it's like, you know, people are afraid of flying, they go, oh, just don't think about it. If you're afraid of flying, you can't just not think about it. If you're addicted to something, you can't just say, just don't take it.
You got to suck it up and tough it out. And you've
But
got
I
to
can't. I wish I could.
You've got to.
And you can't articulate how you did that.
I'm going to think how I can express it to you, and I'm going to call you and try, and because I think it's a long, boring conversation for anybody who doesn't have it. It's not good radio.
But can you imagine, even if this was the worst broadcast in the history, if you could actually cure... You know how many hits I get? If you could actually cure people, there are people locked away. Did you see that the Leonardo DiCaprio movie about Howard Hughes?
Yes.
See how he ended his life naked, pissing in a bottle in a room?
Right. Yeah.
You could have helped him.
Well, I guess I could have, but I haven't.
Where were you?
I was able to do it for myself, and yet when I explain it, it somehow doesn't. People don't connect to it who have OCD. They don't understand what I'm saying. So I'm not communicating properly.
You have no idea how I get freaked. I mean, I'm talking about it right now, and I'm not freaked, but I get freaked out. I mean, I was in a room like a couple of months ago, and I broke all the glasses in the room because I accidentally touched one.
But why break them?
I went
crazy.
You went crazy. You got upset about it.
Yeah.
Well, you're suffering.
I didn't want them there to be touched, so I smashed all the glasses in the room.
So
then the hotel guy said, "Why you got a lot of broken glass in your room?"
The problem with OCD.
You make light of it, but you still struggle with it every day.
The problem, of course, I struggled with it this morning.
So you're not cured.
I go through the day pretty effortlessly. You know, all of a sudden a little obsessive thought will come in, and then I almost get caught up in it, and I go, fuck it. And
well, people don't understand. It's like a skipping record. It could even be, it's not even a ritual. It could be a horrible thought that you can't get out of your head.
That's right.
You know? And then I can't function.
I understand. So I know how bad it is. Believe me, I do. And I know you come around, people say, oh, I have that, but they don't really have it.
Right.
But
there's a lot of funny, in the book, I tell a lot of funny stories.
Oh, I'm getting a lot of laughs here.
It's not.
so listen to this. Howie wears a surgical mask when his kids are sick. He won't sleep or eat in the same room as his wife if she's sick.
Right.
Howie's in therapy on medication for anxiety to help him deal with his OCD.
Right.
Howie owns a $6,000 toilet that opens and closes itself because he doesn't want to touch the toilet.
That's amazing.
It's not amazing. You know where I found the toilet? I actually found it here in New York. I was staying at the W
Shoots
Hotel.
water up your ass?
Yeah, do you have that?
That whole thing?
Somebody actually sent us a letter yesterday. Said they would give us these free toilets because they're big. Yeah, they're a big fan of ours. But I'm not looking for that. In fact, I have trouble.
I'll take another one. Toto. I love Toto.
I have a trouble with the toilet seats too, but I take them and I just close them with my hand.
But this is amazing. You want to hear how I found this? I walked into the toilet in a presidential suite, I think at the W Hotel here.
Yeah.
And I walk in and I got freaked out. The toilet seat just went up.
Right.
And a light came on and there was a glow and it was like calling to me. So I sat down and it was warm. It was warm.
Yeah,
it was heated. And then air starts to flow. It blows down. So as soon as anything drops into the water, it automatically flushes. It sent that. And
you
then
don't
I
have
saw
to touch anything?
Right.
Nothing. No, there are controls on the wall beside you. There are cleansing. There are little buttons. And I didn't. This is before I had it. I didn't even think of it. So it says rear cleanse. So I hit rear cleanse, and lo and behold,
water shoots into your ass.
Like
Does it blow out all the remnants?
It's actually cleaner. I can't stand being here where they don't have it. It's cleaner. It's like a power wash.
I agree.
What is paper?
I use baby wipes.
Baby wipes, or but anything. You're basically smearing.
Yes.
So this is like a power wash. This is like sandblasting.
Is it really a tough, hard?
Oh, you have no
blast?
idea. There's even a dial with pressure. I can dial the pressure. What I try to do is I turn the pressure up so high that I'm actually hovering. I don't want to be sitting on the seat. Oh yes, I'm hovering on a geyser. But here's the thing: the first time I saw it, I saw rear cleanse. Now cleanse to me is you got to cleanse.
Right.
There was another button I didn't realize. It said front cleanse. I think I want everything cleansed.
Right.
What is the front?
Wash my balls.
I had no idea.
It's for
so
a
I
woman.
hit front cleanse.
Yes.
Now I had no, which is obviously for a woman.
Yes.
I did not know that. See, you didn't know that,
No,
and
I
neither
didn't.
did I. But I don't know. Do you box? It was like the speed bag. You know the speed bag? And it was pulsating. It's like, and I started screaming, help, help. And my wife came in, and because my mind went, and I forgot, I didn't know how to turn off the button, and I didn't want to stand up because it was going to shoot all over the ceiling, and my balls were getting pummeled by this water. And my wife sees me screaming, and she goes, what's wrong? And I go, press buttons, and she hit the pressure button, and I actually got hurt. Well, now I'm not going to get a Toto.
Yeah, you'll get one.
Okay.
It's a fabulous toilet.
Another one.
I just read about it last night, which is really odd. Yeah,
you got to get
I would
one.
love it.
They're the best. Your wife. I was going to put one in our guest bathroom. My wife wouldn't let me because she said she doesn't want people lingering.
Right.
Because you can't get off.
It's like a bath. After this thing power washes your asshole.
Right.
How do you dry it?
off?
Dryer.
There's a dryer built in.
There's a blow dryer.
blows air?
Blows air. It's got everything.
And does it dry fairly quickly?
It's got a light. Oh, you can. I can set the heat.
So no
and the
paper is
pressure.
used whatsoever.
No paper. I'm paper free. I feel like I'm going green.
What if you make a duty that isn't so complete? Like, you know how sometimes you don't go, and there's always lots of remnants?
Right.
It's able to power wash all that out, too?
Everything.
Wow.
You got to get the Toto.
Have you ever tested the power wash how successful it is by taking toilet paper and really jamming it up your ass and seeing if it's perfectly clean afterwards? Have you tested it?
You are so in tune with me.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
that was. You have no idea.
Yeah.
I always think I'm the only one that does it.
No,
I did.
You did that.
I did that.
And there was not a dot.
Not a dot.
Wow.
Not a dot.
I poke and see if there's a dot.
Not a
It's got to be clean to the point where it's.
And there's no smells.
Wow.
There's no, because as soon as it hits the water, I'm telling you, why would you even think of turning down the free?
Well, because it seems like you have to install it. It's a whole
Does
thing.
Toto hear me now? Because
the
I
guy
helped bring it
the
up.
guy who owns the company's listening.
I want another one. I love this. I would like to be. I want to be the spokesperson for this toilet.
It sounds
I don't
like
care
you
if
are.
I lose. I love this toilet.
Do you? So this toilet. How long does the whole process take when you sit down on?
Well,
it?
that's my wife has an issue with. The truth of the matter
You must
is,
be in there for 4 hours.
I can.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Right. How long
But
does
with
it
the
take?
cleansing, for me, I don't know when I'm finished. You're talking to a guy who washes his hands for 30 minutes.
Right.
So
here's the thing that I think is the most. This blew my mind.
Okay.
You talk. There's all levels of OCD. He's got it the worst.
That's what I'm saying, that you have a different level.
When you were a little kid, did your
in my
parents think?
toilet
Did your
at
parents?
home,
Yeah, go ahead.
In my toilet at home, I have the toilet. My wife thinks I'm nuts. So I put in this toilet.
Yes.
I put in a phone right beside the toilet.
You're gonna live in
I put
there.
the flat screen TV right. I built it. Oh, you have that too?
Sure. Right. What are you doing?
So
Of course.
I put a refrigerator right at the toilet. There's a refrigerator.
Oh, that's a little insane.
I don't want a refrigerator.
There's
in
no
the
other place I have to
bathroom.
go. I can just
What's in
sit
the
and
refrigerator?
cleanse and squirt refreshments and snacks.
Does your wife still use paper, or is she using the water
The
flow?
Toto.
I got to ask.
Who knows? She probably doesn't even make duty. She's probably a lady.
I wouldn't marry anybody that crapped.
That's right.
That was a prerequisite.
This is fascinating about you. By the way, when is the last time you used paper on your ass? Probably in a hotel.
Today.
Oh, that must be horrible when you have
It's
to
horrible.
leave home now.
I go, how do these people do this? It's so barbaric. You wipe your ass with paper.
But
you know what turns me off? There's a toilet paper commercial now with those animated bears, and the little bear bends over, and that's how they sell the toilet paper. There's little will nuts, white will nuts on the bear's ass, and we're supposed to go. But with this paper, you don't do it.
This is amazing. This will shock people, and this is real bad. Howie washes all of his money.
Well,
now I've often thought about that cash.
No,
is
here's
touched by
how
a
I do it.
lot.
I don't carry money.
Go ahead.
I don't have $1 on me.
Right.
But if I have to have $1 on me, or somebody gives me $1, my wife will put it in my pocket. And when I wash my pants, I don't take the money out, and I tell the person that does my laundry, just wash it, and then that way I can hold the money. But money that's not only it's filthy.
Well, yes, but it's kind of crippling again You're turning yourself into a little boy. You can't do anything for yourself. You've taken.
Well, I've never been to an ATM.
I bet.
Can you take an escalator?
I don't think you have.
Well, years ago.
I've never been to an ATM.
Yeah, but I understand.
Can I take an escalator without holding on? I don't. I
was going to say everybody's.
I don't hold handrails.
I never touch a handrail. I never touch a handrail, and I'm always afraid I'm going to fall.
I can't imagine in this town. Everything's escalators and subways. I don't. Just try to balance on a train. Like if I have to take a monorail, I won't touch anything.
Oh, it's funny. My father had OCD bad. I wrote about it in my book. He used to when we would go to a Yankee game, he would put brand new work gloves on.
Right.
And you know the kids in the Bronx who wash your windshield?
Yeah.
Yes.
He would have to set up the money on the dashboard, and he wouldn't want to touch it.
Right. So he'd make them reach in and grab it.
He'd make them reach in and grab it.
Yeah, well,
and he would wear gloves to pay tolls.
Now, speaking of money, Howie was listed on number 6 on the Forbes magazine's list of the richest men in primetime television.
Wow.
He earned an estimated $15 million last year, I think, just from Deal or No Deal.
It's a lot of money to wash.
And then with the stand-up money.
Right.
Stand-up's where it's at, right?
I love stand-up, yes.
Yeah, you love doing it, and it
I
pays
need to
well.
do it. That's the only place that I'm comfortable. That's the only place I'm happy.
And you kind of not even...
Well, that's in the now, right? That's like I'm just doing stand-up, and in that moment, that's the only comfortable place in my whole life.
In other words, when you're doing stand-up, you can sort of let go all the rituals. You're concentrated on that one thing.
Just, you know, I have terror, but a good kind of terror where I'm just trying to... Yes.
I started to get upset when OCD started entering. I always was able to get through a radio show without it being too bad.
Right.
Then there was a point where it started to enter into the radio show, where sometimes when I was reading a commercial, I had to say certain things twice. I had to say things 3 times. And then I said...
you worked through it.
But that was when it was getting at its worst. And then I had my epiphany, and I cured myself.
And this just came to you?
It came to me through a lot of... It was an amazing experience. I cried when the OCD went away. It was so powerful. I sat in my room, and I was doing this stuff based on what Dr. Sarno had taught me. And all of a sudden, I realized this horrible back pain was not going to leave me until I recognized that I had OCD, and I had to stop all the rituals. It would my life would never be free. And I sat there like fucking Buddha. It was a nighttime. I was alone. I was sitting in a chair. I remember it, and all of a sudden, everything lifted.
Really?
And
I would give anything to do
and
that.
I got on my knees and cried.
You know how many
never
nights
cried.
I go into the emergency room because I think I'm having a heart attack?
Now, what happened
So
with that?
did you ever...
Oh, that the real one?
Yeah, you had a real one.
I had atrial fibrillation. You know what that is?
Yeah.
No.
It means the top of his heart is just sort of fluttering. It's
yeah,
not
I don't
really
have a plumbing
beating.
problem. I had an electrical problem.
Which is the worst thing for a guy like you, because you're obsessive as it is, and now you probably think you're having a heart attack every minute because you
passed out. Yeah. But I didn't know, and they told me. The doctor, when I talk about it, because while I was writing the book, it was happening to me. The guy said that my heart is an irregular heartbeat.
Right.
And they would fix it with by defibrillating me. They put me out, clear.
Right.
Yeah, they put the paddles on you.
But it didn't work. And I did it like 4 or 5 times, and it didn't work, and I had to have an ablation. I just had that.
What is that?
That sounds terrible.
It was horrible. They
What's an
dig in
ablation?
through my groin. They went in. Here's a guy. I went to the hospital. He goes, they dug a hole in my groin and went up through my groin. Oh. And like that's I guess the way to a man's heart.
Right.
They went up through my groin with a camera and a laser through that whatever that artery is in your groin, right into the inside of my heart.
Wow.
And then they lasered the inside of my heart. They burn it, so they scar that piece of the heart so that the electrical current goes to another place.
Who dreams this stuff up to fix things like this?
And then I talk about this in the
Frankenstein.
book.
Yeah.
They don't even. And then the guy says to me, I go, tell me what you got. I was going nuts. You know, what are you going to do? And he goes, you wake up, and the thing you'll notice there'll be a catheter. I said, no fucking catheter. I won't.
In your cock? A penis?
Where else do you put
catheter? The tube up your penis?
Yeah, because they have to fill me. They have to fill me with like 25 gallons of water. Because they inflate your.
So did they do it to you?
I said I won't have. Well, when I was out.
Yes.
But the procedure took 10 hours, and I said I can't have a catheter.
When you wake up.
I can't have it. I won't see it. But they go, but then you're just going to be pissing. I said, I don't care. I'll let me piss. I can't see a fucking catheter. I can't shake hands. You're not going to put. So I woke up. I actually have pictures. I was like bloated, and I started, just pissing, and then I was thirsty, and then so they gave me a little a container of apple juice, and I had to piss, and I couldn't get out of bed, and I had to piss in a container, and then I was so freaked out that I didn't know the difference between the apple juice and the piss. And the nurse got mad at me. I go, I think this is piss. She goes, no, that's your apple juice. I go, I'm not going to drink this. Bring me new fucking apple juice. This is piss. I'm not going to drink my piss.
This is some life.
And then I finally, in the morning...
You're a prisoner.
I was a prisoner. And then in the morning, listen to this. In the morning, the guy comes in and he gives me, and he says, you know, you're ready to go home. And he checks me out. He takes I had tape on my groin. He lifts my gown and he rips off the tape and he goes, you're okay to go. And then I'll just finish my breakfast. So I go and I put the cover over me and I take one last drink, and I'm taking a drink. And as I'm drinking, I'm thinking, the fuck is this? I'm pissing. As I'm drinking, it's going through me. I feel like my groin's getting wait.
Yeah.
So I lift the blanket to see what it is, and every time my heart beats, the wound is shooting. I'm not pissing. Is shooting blood out of my crotch. It's like a fucking geyser of blood coming out of my. So I scream. I go, help! Help! Somebody help me! So the doctor comes back in. He goes, what is it? And I'm sitting there, and there's a fucking geyser of every time my heart is beating, of blood coming out of my crotch. He goes, don't worry. I just have to put pressure on it. So the guy leans in. There's a doctor. He quickly puts on 2 gloves. He leans in. He clasps his hands together. He leans in, and he puts his hands on my crotch.
Wow.
And with all his weight, he leans forward on my crotch, holding the blood. You can see the blood coming out of the sides of his gloves, and he's leaning on my crotch. His nose is 1.5 inches from my nose. He's just leaning. We're eye to eye. There's blood all over the bed. He's doing a push-up on my groin, and then it gets quiet. There's like an awkward quiet for a long time. I guess he has to hold it for 10 minutes. And he's looking at me in the eye, and he goes, you know, the episode with the lady from Arkansas. I go, shut the fuck up! You're on my crotch. And then finally he released it, and the pressure was...
If you had gotten the catheter, you wouldn't have had any of that, right?
No, the catheter was for urine. This was the wound.
Oh, my God.
But so I had that, and I had to go back. I did that twice. I had an ablation twice.
So are you okay now?
Now they say I'm okay.
Listen to me.
So no pacemaker, no...
No, I don't need a pacemaker. They say I'm really healthy. They say that's a lot of people have it, and I'm healthy. But you have no idea how that traumatized me.
Your life is a tortured life.
I don't know if you read in the book. I was traumatized as a kid. I got bitten by a sandfly.
No, what happened there?
I was in Florida when I was 7 years old, and I got bitten by a sandfly, and I had it looked like a mosquito bite, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I scratched it. The next morning I woke up, there's 20 of them all over my body, these bumps. And then I started scratching them, and then I would look at the bump, and the bump would crawl away under my skin. The shit was moving under my skin. It had laid its larva in me, and they were living under my skin. And they brought me to a dermatology convention, and the guy burned it off without any anesthetics. He tried to burn them with liquid nitrogen. He dropped them on my skin, and it would just bubble. My mom picked me up. I wasn't dressed, picked me up in the middle while I was screaming, and carried me out to the car. I had blisters all over my body and wouldn't let the doctors... My mom actually cured me after. Every night she would pick one and rub it with like a very rough washcloth until it would break open, bleed, and she'd remove the larva. It took a year of that.
Mackerel.
No wonder you have
Listen to me.
Oh, you have no idea how fucked up I am.
This is a tortured... First of all, you've put yourself in prison. You know that.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question now, and I want you to think about the answer in a serious way.
You're going to have me committed?
No. Listen to me.
What?
Why do you need to be in prison?
I've been trying to escape my entire life.
No. Why do you like prison so much?
Why do I like it?
Yeah, why do you... There's a part of you that likes this.
Mind?
Do you know that?
No.
Feels safe to you. You're a very fearful guy, aren't you?
Yes.
You're afraid of everything.
Fear is my fuel.
So you like being in prison?
No.
Yes.
Make me comfortable.
Because it feels safe. Isn't prison a nice, safe place? They lock you up and someone takes care of you?
I don't sleep. I have the TV on all night. I have lights on all night. I'm never comfortable.
This is a tortured hell you're in.
I'm in a tortured hell.
I am sorry for you.
Now I feel worse than I felt okay. Look, I'm starting to sweat.
No,
You're
having a horrible time.
I am right now.
Listen, you guys need to go buy this guy's book. Must have taken 50 million rituals just to write a book.
Here's the deal. Don't touch me. It was really hard. It was hard because I have also severe ADHD. Can you cure that?
By the way, that I can't cure. That's hopeless cause with you.
That embarrassed me. That's also in the book.
By the way, you mentioned that at the beginning of the book. You talk about really your big your most embarrassing moment, if ever, was admitting on our show that you had obsessive compulsive disorder. You couldn't leave the room. Someone who was on my show had a big dick, had been rubbing it. He had touched the door. Right. You had to go touch the door to leave. You couldn't do it, and you were like helpless.
You were relentless.
Yes, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't just touch the door, Howie. It's no big. Again, this is your theory. Face your fear.
Yes.
And what happened is, I eventually. It doesn't seem like that if you listen to they played the tape on 2020 on Friday.
Right.
It doesn't sound like it because it's inside me.
Yes.
But I snapped. But I didn't care about trying to be funny or entertaining. I don't really care at this particular moment either.
Right.
But I just said, I'm in therapy and it's real, and that's no big deal to you. But to me, I'm the same age as you. It was a big deal to say that I'm. The first time I said that I'm actually in therapy. I have a mental issue. And when the door closed behind me, I thought, that's it. They're going to take away my show. They're going to take away my kids.
Howie, I totally understand. Believe me, because I would not admit. My mother never knew. My father never knew. My wife never knew that I had OCD. I did not admit it to anyone. I was embarrassed by it, and I couldn't even admit it to myself.
But I didn't know I had it. I just thought this is the way, I'm just fucked up. I didn't know that I had OCD.
You are fucked up.
But it's good when you get a title.
Yes. Now, let me tell you something.
Well, you would have been afraid of losing those kids you stay away from?
Would have been the best thing ever happened to you. By the way, speaking of kids, Howie did a stunt. I should mention this, and I think you talk about it in the book as well. Didn't you do a stunt where you asked a woman to get naked? This was for one of your TV shows.
Right.
And it turned out that the woman you asked to get naked was your son's teacher.
Oh,
no.
No, I was going to do, I go and do these. I'm obsessed about everything. My entree into comedy, and the reason I wanted to get into this business, my parents always had comedy. We had comedy albums, and I'd hear them laughing. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but I knew they were having a good time.
Right.
So I went, one time they sat me down in front of the TV, and I saw Alan Funt.
Yes.
And that was the first thing I understood.
Camera.
Candid camera.
Right.
And I thought, and he explained to me, he went, this guy's going to come in, he doesn't know, there's a cup here, I got a string on it, when he tries to grab, and everybody was laughing. I said, that's what I'm going to do. But I was a fucking idiot. I didn't really understand that, it's about planning something. I thought the joke was, because I was like 6 or 8, I thought the joke was, if I'm joking and they don't know I'm joking, that's the joke.
Right.
So I would go to school like an idiot, and I'd go up to somebody and tap on their nose, and they'd kick the shit out of me, and I'd go, they have no idea. I was just joking with them.
Candid camera.
Candid camera. I didn't have an audience. I didn't have a sense of humor. I was just a fucking idiot.
You were odd.
Odd. Oh, I was a
First
pariah.
time I ever saw you on TV doing your thing, I thought you were like the oddest guy ever.
I am odd.
Yeah.
I am. But, I'm obsessed with this. So I always carry around cameras. I do it each and every day. Most of the stuff I don't have releases. I watch it at home. I'm fascinated.
Really? You're still doing this?
Still. We have restraining orders to stay away from certain restaurants where I live. My wife won't really let me do it in the neighborhood. And this was one of the straws that broke the camel's back. I went and did some of it I was using on the Tonight Show when I was doing it. I went into the, how they set up these temporary Halloween stores before Halloween. I went in and I said, hey, I went to the manager. I'm a Howie Mandel. I'm a comedian. Can I shoot a hidden camera here? And, maybe you'll be on the Tonight Show or whatever. Let me see what I can get first. The guy goes, okay. So I put on the vest, and I have my little wig and my little sign that says Larry. And the first lady comes in. I go, can I help you? She goes, yeah, I'd like a bird costume. So I say, follow me. So she follows me for a horrible amount of time to the back. I take her to a back corner where it's dark, and I go, okay, what I need you to do is I just need you to pull down your pants and to lower your panties and just bend over for me.
All right.
She goes, what are you saying? I go, I need you to just bend over, lower your pants, and just lower your panties. She goes, what the hell are you doing? I go, what did you ask for? She goes, a bird costume. I go, well, that's what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is we'll start with your ass. I'm going to glue feathers onto your ass, and we'll see from there. She goes, I'm not going to do that. I go, just bend over, drop your fucking pants, and show me your ass. And she goes, wait a minute. And she looks at me. She goes, you're Howie Mandel. And I go, no, show me your ass. She goes, you're Howie Mandel. I go, I'm not. She goes, yes, you are, and I am your daughter's teacher, and you have a conference tonight. And that's what I said. I went, oh, my God.
Oh, my
I'm kidding.
God.
This is a joke. I'm doing this for TV.
Yeah.
It's a joke. I didn't show up at the school, and it was like, it was horrible. It was horrible.
My God.
Oh, my God. And I had to go home, and I had to tell my wife, what I had done, and why I can't go to the conference.
And that's such an extreme thing to do. I mean, telling a woman to drop her pants. I mean, that's wild.
Horrible. It's horrible. And my heart just dropped into it was just horrible. And I feel bad because my kids sometimes pay the penalty. I talk about one thing where I told my son, we came home I think I've talked about this before, but my son, I was on the road and my wife calls me and my son had a little growth on his chest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
and I freaked out. Do you know the story?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, he had a little growth on his chest and I freaked out. We came home, we took him to the doctor, and as it turns out, he had just an extra piece of bone growth. It was nothing, but thank God. But he saw that we panicked, and he went, "Daddy, am I okay?" And I said to him, I said, "Alex, you're okay. It's just." He goes, "What was it?" And I go, "Well, it's a boner."
You called the deposit a boner.
It's a boner.
Right.
He goes, "It's a boner." I go, "Yeah, it's an extra piece of bone."
Why did you do that?
It just came out. I don't think.
Right.
So I said, "It's a boner. You have a boner."
Right.
And you know what? I think you should tell your teacher that you have to rest, that you can't go to gym class, and you have to rest. And if she asks why, I think you should tell her why. And then I said good night, and I went to bed. And like an idiot, like I fucking forgot to say I'm just kidding.
Right.
So I thought it was funny in the moment, but I didn't say that.
How old was the kid at this point? Young kid.
8,
9. All right.
And we get a call from the school the next day, and they say, you have to come in. Your son is being incredibly inappropriate, and I think we have a problem here. And my wife, I'm hearing this third hand. He goes, "What did he say?" She goes, "Well, I can't tell you." She goes, "Please tell me what he said." He said he has to rest because his dad told him that he has a boner. His dad came into his room last night and told him he has a boner. And we got called to the school.
Didn't you have another incident like this?
Yes, the neighbor.
You were swinging.
I'll tell you this.
Okay, listen to this.
Okay,
There's something going on with Howie.
No, the neighbor, which hopefully they listen to the show.
Arrested.
This one, they never talked to me again. I lived in the house. This was the house with the house in the back.
Right.
And beside the house in the back, I built a swing set.
Right.
And there was hedges right behind the swing set, and on the other side of that was the neighbor's pool.
Right.
Okay.
And when you're on the swing set, you could hear the neighbors talking. You couldn't see them, but they're right there. They were literally like 5 feet from me.
Right.
And when I built the swing set, my daughter Jackie loved the swing set, and she was just maybe 3 or 4 years old. And she goes, "Daddy, go on the swings." And I was trying to teach her how to swing. There's a little bit of coordination. You hold onto the ropes, and you swing your legs, and you get the leverage to go way up in the air.
Sure.
And you swing, but she couldn't get it.
Right.
So I thought, like at that, it'll be a nice thing. I got on a swing, and I picked up my little girl, and I put her on my lap. I told her to hold on to the strings, and I showed her with my legs. I would pump with the legs. And we got up, like she'd go higher, and I'd get up higher, and I'd swing, and we'd be swinging. She loved it, and she'd giggle, and it was great. So one day we go out. She goes, "Dad, let's go on the swing." And I go out there, and I hear the neighbors are all around the pool. I can hear them talking, but we get on the swing. And as we get on the swing, she goes, "Okay, Daddy, I'm ready." And that's what she says. And I put her on the lap, and we start to swing. And I'm going, "Ah!" And she goes, "Oh, Daddy." And I'm going, "Ah!" And she goes, "Daddy." Now I hear the neighbors. They stop talking. And I'm going, "Ah!" She goes, "Whoa!" And then, "Ah!" And I go, "Whoa!" And I go, "How's that, Jackie?" She goes, "I could feel your penis in my butt." And I just stopped. I jammed my heels into the sand. We just stopped. I carried her in the house. The neighbors never made eye contact. Within the week, they listed their house. They moved.
Is that true? They moved?
They moved. I don't know if they moved because of me, but if they are listening, they live next door to me. I won't give their name. I was swinging.
You sure were.
This is unbelievable what goes on with you.
Oh, I've been embarrassed. Oh, yeah.
Well, no wonder you have a book because, after all, you still do the Tonight Show with Jay Leno, or is it the ratings
he doesn't do the Tonight Show. But I do his.
You do his new show?
Yes.
Have you done the green car?
No.
He hasn't asked you that yet.
Do you laugh at Jay when this new movie he made? I mean, it's hysterical. He's bombing out all over the place, right?
I don't know that he's bombing out. I think it's a tough deal. He made a tough. I don't think he's. I think that NBC made a tough deal.
You ever laugh?
Maybe I shouldn't say
do you secretly like this?
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on.
No, he's been good to me.
Come on.
I know you don't like him.
Yeah, I don't like Jay.
You don't like Jay.
Jay's not a human being.
You don't think he's a human being?
No. I don't think he's real.
You don't think he's real?
And he's covered in germs. I'm telling you right now.
He's the opposite. He doesn't care about germs.
He's
a real guy. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. Okay.
He is a good guy.
For you.
You think he's a bad guy to you?
Yeah.
Why? Because
he's a bad guy.
Because of John?
Yeah, the way he handled things, it was tacky. And I was pretty good friends with him, and certainly did his show all the time, and he did mine, and we knew each other well enough. And pick up the phone and say, "Hey, listen, I'm thinking of hiring one of your people." It would have been a classy thing to do. Instead, he just was a weasel about it.
Did he ever call you since you've been talking about it?
No. There's no need for that. He said to me, "Phil, we're friends, right?" And I go, "What fucking part of this conversation did you hear? Are you human? I just told you you're an asshole, and you want to know if we're friends?" I said, "We're not friends. I don't like you."
He's been really nice to me, and he's never done me wrong. He's always been there for me. He really has. You know, I mean, if he wronged you, I can't.
Beware.
Really?
Beware.
What can he take from me? Maybe he'll take my OCD.
He's going to spread germs all over you. I'm telling you.
He doesn't give a shit about germs. He
That's
comes
what
out
I'm
and
saying.
touches everybody.
You notice I don't touch you. He touches you.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love this show. We didn't shake hands. I am sitting 11 feet from you.
I don't
wish
wanna
my
touch
life was
you.
like this.
Yeah.
I'd love to meet people from a distance. I hate that. I have to do those fucking meet and greets. I call that a German squirm.
He's going to make you wipe with paper when you do the Tonight Show. I'm telling you.
Oh, I can't. You know what I try to? I'm here like for a couple days. I try not to crap while I'm in New York.
I haven't.
You know that? The last time I crapped was in L.A.
That's right.
I crapped in L.A. and I'm going to Chicago tomorrow. Then I'm going to Toronto. I got a place in Toronto, so I'm going to crap in Toronto.
Don't eat anything.
I don't eat fiber.
Don't.
When I'm on the road, I won't eat fiber and a lot of rice. I have a lot of rice.
And
just
bananas.
bind yourself
and bananas.
up. Yeah.
I'm so bad. And matzah. I eat a ton of matzah
You are
and
tortured.
bananas. Oh yeah.
You
Why
are
sit?
tortured.
That's it.
Poor Howie. Listen, Howie, here's the deal. Don't touch me. In stores now. The very successful Howie Mandel. He's on the Forbes list, so you know.
Yeah.
He's very important.
Everyone's envious of Howie, but Howie's tortured.
Howie is
you have
tortured.
no idea.
Don't be envious.
I'm going to tweet live now. You
Please
don't tweet. Do you guys tweet? Do you
No.
tweet, Artie?
Why would I like that? I mean, I don't want to generate more material. In other words, I do enough of that all day. But maybe I would follow you. How do
Will
I
you follow me?
I don't even know how to do it.
Howie M. Mandel, all together.
And then what do I do?
Well, just download the app.
And then what do I do?
You'll
and
see.
Then
You can follow people.
And then it'll say, who do you want to follow? And I put Howie M. Mandel.
And whoever you want to follow.
Right.
How many days you would have a good time because some people say such inane things. They're commenting on the world situation.
Do people get mean with you? Do they ever say things to you that insult you?
They can.
They can, and you're able to handle that?
No.
No.
But I can't stop. I have myself. I Google myself when every article or every comment. Do you do that?
Yeah.
And I sit there at night, or I'll go to the blogs and just read the hate.
I used to go to the blog, the Stern Fan Network, where all my fans congregate.
Right.
And it was just so hurtful and mean.
Yes, I do.
Those
that.
are my fans.
My wife always says, like when I was having the heart thing, I Googled everybody who died in 2009 and how they died, and I had a file.
Oh dear.
Howie,
right.
I'm
sweating.
It's
I'm so hot.
Well, of course.
I'm so
You're not-
uncomfortable.
Fred, get ready to open the door for Howie.
All right, I'll do my best.
We'll be back right after this. The great Howie Mandel.
Howie.
Yeah.
How'd it go, man?
I don't know. I feel like a really rough therapy session.
Is it hard talking about all those?
Yeah,
horrible
look,
things?
I'm sweating. I don't sweat. I'll do television. I'm sweating. I'm really I'm actually going to call my therapist now.
Now, Howard says
I'm all wound up.
Howard says he holds the key, I guess, to being able to curb.
Yeah, but there's nothing more. There's nothing more pressure. There's nothing that adds more pressure than telling somebody they have the key, but they won't give it to you.
No, he said
He would give it to me,
yeah, he said
but
he's
not
gonna call
now.
you.
So I have to live in
He
this.
said he didn't know if his key would work for you.
But I'd like to hear it. I need to hear it. But I'm going to call my therapist and just up the dosage of medication. This is like a torture chamber, but with a nice parting gift.
Exactly.